India votes. Only on News 9. This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9. English news as it should be.
More than 6.1 crore voters across Assam, Kerala and Puducherry cast vote in a single-phase assembly elections. Big day ahead. Robot Neela welcomes voters arriving at a polling booth in Puducherry as the voters of the Union Territory cast votes across 30 seats. Rajnath Singh-led intergovernmental panel takes stock of India's readiness in view of evolving situation in West Asia. Raksha Mantri says focus must remain on preparedness, coordination and resilience building. Union Cabinet clears 3 bills on women's reservation, 33% quota to be introduced in Parliament and state assemblies. White House confirms first round of US-Iran talks to take place in Pakistan on Saturday. JD Vance to lead delegation. Stalemate over Israeli operation in Lebanon threatens West Asia peace deal. Iran's parliament speaker Ghalibaf accuses Israel of violating the 3 key clauses of the 10-point proposal for ceasefire. Hours after ceasefire, Iran stopped first oil tanker passing through Hormuz, accuses Israel of ceasefire breach. Iranian Foreign Minister Araghchi raises issue with Pakistani mediators. A big day. Puducherry, Kerala and Assam goes to poll. Let's talk about Assam first. Assam votes in a crucial election that will test both continuity and change after a decade of BJP rule. With 126 assembly seats in play, the contest is centered around the leadership of Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma and the Congress-led alliance attempting a comeback under Gaurav Gogoi. This is also the first election after delimitation, which has reshaped constituency boundaries and altered voter dynamics across state. From identity politics and immigration debates to welfare schemes, unemployment and regional issues. Multiple factors are influencing voter choices. With a mix of national narratives and strong regional undercurrents, the outcome in Assam will not only decide the next government, but also indicate the political direction of the entire area. Assam's electoral trajectory shows a clear shift over the last 3 elections. In 2011, the Congress dominated with 78 seats and close to 40% vote share, while BJP had just 5 seats. By 2016, the BJP surged to power with 60 seats, marking a major political transition. In 2021, the BJP retained its 60 seats with a higher vote share, while the Congress remained at 29. Regional parties like AIUDF, AGP and BPF continue to influence outcomes in multiple constituencies. This election is defined by a mix of strong leadership and emerging challengers. Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma remains the central figure for the BJP with firm organizational control. Gaurav Gogoi leads the Congress campaign as the opposition face. Leaders like Debabrata Saikia and Ripun Bora bring experience, while Ajanta Nayok and Ashok Singhal represents BJP's expanded leadership base. Regional leaders including Akhil Gogoi and EJP's Atul Bora continue to shape local electoral dynamics. Key constituencies across Assam are expected to indicate the larger electoral trend. Jorhat is a high-profile contest reflecting Upper Assam dynamics while a civil saga presents a triangular fight involving Rayajor, Dal and NDA allies. Jalubari remains the Chief Minister's stronghold and a measure of BJP's dominance. Urban seats like Dispur and Guwahati Central will reflect city voter sentiment, while Tumulpur is crucial in the Bodo belt. Silchar and Dhekaijuli will indicate trends in Barak Valley and North Assam. The NDA enters this election with strong leadership under Himanta Biswa Sarma, a well-established booth network and a focus on welfare infrastructure. Central support adds to its advantage. However, after 2 terms in power, anti-incumbency, unemployment concerns and internal dissent could affect its performance. A divided opposition works in its favor, but minority consolidation and regional party influence remain key challenges. The Congress-led alliance is attempting a revival with new leadership under Gaurav Gogoi and broader alliance support. It is banking on anti-incumbency and social justice narratives. However, weaker ground organization compared to BJP in past defections remain concerned. Its performance will depend on effective vote consolidation and alliance coordination. Identity politics remains central to this election. Illegal immigration, NRC and CAA debate continue to influence voter sentiment with a strong focus on protecting indigenous identity. These issues remain highly polarizing across regions. Eviction drives and land rights have emerged as major concerns. The government defends its action as necessary, while the opposition calls it a humanitarian issue. The debate is particularly significant in rural and minority-dominated areas. Welfare schemes targeting women are a key electoral factor. Direct cash support and financial assistance promises from both sides have made women voters a decisive bloc in this election. With a large young electorate, unemployment remains a major concern. Job creation, promises of better life, economic opportunities are central to both BJP and Congress campaigns. Minority votes are expected to play a crucial role in several constituencies. These are signs of consolidation, which could directly impact the closely contested seats. Delimitation has significantly altered the electoral map. Changes in constituency boundaries and demographies are expected to influence voting pattern and pay strategies. The BJP is focusing on expanding existing welfare schemes, including increased financial assistance for women and housing support. The Congress is promising direct cash transfers, pensions and financial aid for women entrepreneurs, presenting a compelling welfare model. The BJP is highlighting job creation targets and investment-driven growth, while Congress is focusing on employment guarantees, wage increases and filling vacancies. Jobs remain a central issue for voters. The BJP is pitching large-scale infrastructure investment and positioning Assam as an economic getaway. The Congress is questioning uneven development and focusing on balanced regional growth. Flood management remains a critical issue in Assam. BJP has proposed a large mitigation plan, while the Congress is advocating long-term regional water management solutions. Land rights continue to be key concern. The BJP is focusing on welfare for indigenous groups, while the Congress is promising broader land ownership and redistribution measures. The BJP is emphasizing strict action on illegal immigration and legal reforms, while the Congress is focusing on social harmony and protection of minority rights. This reflects a clear ideological contrast. This is the first election after delimitation, which has reduced Muslim majority seats and increased voter reservation issues. Now, if we look at the larger rubric, we'll talk about what is happening in the scheduled tribes and scheduled caste areas. Several regions have seen a shift in distribution, altering electoral dynamics. With new boundaries, many constituencies now have a different mix. Traditional voting pattern may not hold, and several leaders could face new electoral challenges. Assam has an electorate of around 2.49 crore with a predominantly rural population. Hindus form the majority, while Muslims account for a significant share, making community dynamics important. Young voters, T-tribes, border communities play a decisive role across multiple constituencies. On this issue, I am joined by Digjyoti Lakhar. He joins me from Assam. I am also joined by Mohammad Wajiullah, Gautam Shankar, Theojakshi Shekhar. We'll talk about Puducherry, we'll talk about Kerala, we'll talk about Assam. Sabyasachi also joins me from Newsroom. And after Assam, we are going to talk about the other election. But let me straight away go to Digjyoti Lakhar. Digjyoti, what is making this election different? Is it all about Hemanta or is it about BJP? Can you unmute yourself, Digjyoti?
Uh, the, the most important and interesting thing in this election, we have seen this time we have found this election issue-less election, because we have seen the government, present ruling government under the regime of Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, they are talking about development and some other core issues that has always been talking about BJP in last 10 years. While the Congress-led opposition, initially they are not united, but just declaration of code of conduct, declaration of election dates and all those, the Congress, their side with Rajor Dol, and although they have already electoral alliance with Assam Jatiyo Porikhod and led groups, so they tried last moment as a to contest this election as united. But the strategy they have adopted throughout the state, it's only through social media and only through giving same kind of statement. And the Congress, they tried to reunite, regain their status by giving a slogan, Notun Bor Assam, Notun Bor Assam, means a greater new Assam. But they are not able to approach the common voter throughout the state if we analyze this properly. And where they mostly consolidate themselves in the minority area. Yes.
Digjyoti, you are calling it a issueless election. I am joined by Brijesh Pandey, News9's input editor. Brijesh, Digjyoti is saying this is an issueless election in Assam.
I would, no, if I don't agree with him 100%, then, but I still feel that, he has a great merit in what he's saying. The point is that if you look at the election, the election has been dominated by, or rather being done in a way where, you are literally searching for issues which can help you or become that particular issue which can help you, win this particular election. If you look at the campaigning style of the Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma, from Mia Muslims, his team putting out a video where he's seen targeting a Muslim guy, and then, it was immediately taken down after a lot of, protests and all, a lot of criticism. Then again, there was this thing that, you should start troubling Muslims, Mia Muslims, and, if they want 3, give them 2 rupees. So there was a proper intent to communalize the
But in the Mia
election.
Muslim, there is also a Mama, na?
No, Mama is there, but Mama is trying to, borrow a leaf from Shivraj Singh Chauhan. So there are too many people, too many politicians now who want to become a Mama. Okay. Ever since he has aced the Mama angle.
So the Mama is the ace card. Before we discuss the by-elections in Karnataka, the elections in Kerala, Puducherry, let me play out a bite of leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi.
असम के भाइयों और बहनों को नमस्कार। ये चुनाव सिर्फ सरकार बदलने का चुनाव नहीं है। ये हिंसा, नफरत और भ्रष्टाचार को मिटाने का चुनाव है। असम के चीफ मिनिस्टर हिंदुस्तान के सबसे भ्रष्ट चीफ मिनिस्टर हैं। उन्होंने भ्रष्टाचार की सारी सीमाएं तोड़ दी हैं। ये बात पूरी असम जानता है। असम का बच्चा इस बात को गहराई से समझता है। कांग्रेस पार्टी आपको गारंटी देने जा रही है। सबसे पहले गारंटी, 100 दिन के अंदर जुबिन गर्ग और उनके परिवार को हम न्याय दिलवाएंगे। दूसरी गारंटी, असम को एक नया हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस सिस्टम, जिसके माध्यम से हर परिवार को 25 लाख रुपए स्वास्थ्य के लिए, इलाज के लिए मिलेंगे। जो हमारे सीनियर सिटीजन हैं, उनके लिए हम एक नई मिनिस्ट्री बना रहे हैं और हर महीने उनको 1250 रुपए पेंशन में दिलवाएंगे। जो महिलाएं हैं, उनको अनकंडीशनल बैंक अकाउंट में ट्रांसफर, कैश ट्रांसफर, और 50,000 रुपए नया बिजनेस चालू करने के लिए सरकार देगी। और 10 लाख लोगों को हम परमानेंट पट्टा, मियादी पट्टा देने जा रहे हैं। आपके चीफ मिनिस्टर आपसे जमीन छीनते हैं, हम आपको जमीन का अधिकार देंगे। हमारे कैंडिडेट्स को आप समर्थन दीजिए, हर कैंडिडेट को जिताइए और कांग्रेस पार्टी की गठबंधन की सरकार असम में लाइए। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
So the guarantees are at the heart of every election. Now let's talk about Kerala. Kerala votes Across 143 assembly seats in high-stakes triangular contest, the Left Democratic Front is aiming for a rare third straight term. The United Democratic Front is pushing for a comeback, and the NDA is looking to convert its vote share into seats with welfare, development and identity all in play, one of India's most politically aware electorate. As Kerala votes, here is where the battle stood in 2021. The Left Democratic Front won a dominant 94 out of 140 seats with over 41% vote share, breaking the state's pattern for alternating governments. The UDF finished with 40 seats while the NDA drew a blank, despite a notable vote share. The key question now is whether Kerala repeats or resets. Kerala has a long history of alternating power, and the 2016 verdict reflected that trend. The Left Democratic Front returned to power with 91 seats and over 43% vote share, while the Congress-led UDF was pushed to 47 seats. BJP-led NDA opened its account for the first time with 1 seat, making a small but significant entry into Kerala Assembly politics. The election is not just about leadership, it's a direct clash of competing welfare and development models. From cash transfers and pensions to healthcare guarantees and job creation, all three fronts have gone aggressive in their promises. The UDF is pitching direct income support and expanded welfare. The LDF is doubling down on its governance and public delivery model, while the NDA is pushing a mix of central schemes, infrastructure and targeted benefits from Sabrimala to social security. This manifesto battle reflects three very different futures for Kerala's future. The ruling left enters this election with confidence but also with challenges. CM Pinarayi Vijayan's leadership, a strong cadre network and an established welfare delivery system remains its biggest strengths. However, after 2 consecutive terms, anti-incumbency and concerns over leadership depth could weigh it down. With a divided opposition, the LDF sees opportunity, but issues like Sabrimala, minority sentiment and the BJP's growing Hindu consolidation remains a threat. For the Congress, the election is about reclaiming lost ground. The alliance is counting on minority consolidation, strong pockets in central Kerala and momentum from local body elections, but internal groupism in the absence of towering statewide leader remains critical concern. If anti-incumbency peaks, the UDF stands to gain, but a split in opposition votes and the LDF's organizational strength could once again challenge its path to power. The BJP-led NDA may not have won a single seat in 2021, but it enters the election with renewed ambition. Its vote shares have risen steadily, and recent breakthrough in Lok Sabha win to key civic gains have boosted confidence. However, the weak cadre strength compared to the CPM and limited reach among minorities continue to hold it back. In a triangular contest, the NDA's biggest opportunity lies in vote splits. But the real test is whether it can finally convert votes into seats. To understand Kerala's politics, you have to understand its demographics, because numbers here directly shape narratives. With a literacy rate above 96% and a high sex ratio, Kerala electorate is among the most politically aware in the country. Religious composition plays a crucial role, with the Hindu forming the majority, but Muslims and Christians together influencing a significant number of constituencies. In fact, nearly 1/3 of the seats are heavily influenced by minority voters, marking coalition arithmetic in a different way. They can make and unmake the elections in constituencies of concern. Even as Kerala voters today, a major controversy is casting a shadow over the electoral process. A sudden drop of over 3 lakh votes in the revised rolls have triggered a political storm with shared concerns. There are sharp variations reported across constituencies. From Thiruvananthapuram to Thrissur, several high-profile seats have seen significant declines, raising serious questions about voter elections and electoral transparency. With many of these constituencies politically crucial, this issue could have a direct impact on the final outcome. On the other hand, Puducherry is voting 30 seats context where electoral pattern and governance issues will play a decisive role. The Union Territory has not re-elected a government since 2006. Making anti-incumbency a key factor once again. NDA is seeking a second term led by N. Rangaswamy, while the Congress-DMK alliance is attempting a comeback. The entry of Vijay's TVK adds a new variable, especially in urban pockets and among younger voters. Key issues include statehood demand, administrative power, unemployment, local governance. In 2016, UPA formed the government with 17 out of 30 seats and around 42% of the vote. The NDA secured 7 seats with 28% votes. The result reflected a clear mandate for the UPA, with NDA positioned as the secondary force in assembly. In 21, NDA moved ahead to win 16 seats with over 44% votes, while UPA was reduced to 8 seats with 36% votes. This marked a shift in voter preference and resulted in formation of the NDA government in Union Territory. The demand for full statehood remains a central issue, and the elected government, having limited administrative power under Union Territory status, remains a talking point. Now, without wasting any more time, let me straight away go to Gautam Shankar and ask Gautam, tell me what's happening in Kerala.
Yes, Karthik. Basically, what we're looking at is whether we are going to see a straight third term for Pinarayi Vijayan, and if the Congress-led UDF can actually prevent any sort of embarrassment this time around. And there are three key regions that I'm keeping a keen eye out on. The Christian belt, that is the central Kerala, because this is the region that had drifted towards the LDF in the 2021 elections. And this swing basically ensured that they got this massive haul of 91 seats last time around. So whether the Christian belt will be consolidated by the UDF is going to be extremely crucial. And the other thing is the northern Kerala or the Malabar region, the Muslim, this is where the Muslim votes are, and they have largely remained with the Congress, and this basically is likely to remain with them this time around as well. Now coming to whether the NDA can actually have another big say this time around is going to be crucial, and for them, the votes are going to come from the Travancore or the South Kerala region, and where they're looking at seats like Thiruvananthapuram, Thrissur, and Palakkad, etc. So these are the regions that we'll be keeping keen eye out on. And one real issue that Congress really faces is while the LDF is going with Pinarayi Vijayan, they have projected the captain as the face. The Congress is still doesn't have a CM face between Janitala, BD Satish. There is still a lot of confusion there, and that could be a potential drawback preventing them from winning this elections this time around, Karthik.
Absolutely. Thoya, what's happening in Puducherry? Is Ranga's future looking bright?
Well, of course, this time also it is expected that TM, N. Rangaswamy is, likely to, again hold the Chief Minister post in Puducherry. Because when we talk about the last elections, which happened in 2021, where CN Rangaswamy, which formed the government, it was supported by the BJP and its allies. On the other hand, when we talk about the Congress, which previously ruled, lost power, after where there was several internal instability and dissatisfactions, in internal party. Major turning point before the elections, which was a fall for the Congress government, due to several resignations, which triggered political uncertainty. This brought the BJP and the NR Congress alliance, together, and where CM N. Rangaswamy, which hold his position as Chief Minister. But it is also expected that this time also, CM N. Rangaswamy, who is contesting, from Puducherry, from Tatanchawdi constituency, is likely to again hold his position as the Chief Minister. Because when we talk about the NDA and
tell me, Thoya, who has the advantage? Simple term, that's what people want to know. Is it the UPA, or is it the Congress, or is it the BJP? Who has the advantage?
Well, in Puducherry, as far as it's concerned, again, there are high chances of the BJP and our Congress again to hold the government, and again, CN N. Rangaswamy to have, this post as the Chief Minister, because due to several, strong constituencies which NR Congress and BJP is having in Puducherry. On the other hand, it is likely that the Congress and the DMK, due to their internal party issues and friendly fights that is happening between them, due to that, it is likely that they are not going to have good majority. Because on the other hand, when we also see that first time TVK Vijay, who is entered into this politics, is contesting from all 30 constituencies in Puducherry this time. On the other hand, when we also talk about the LJK, which is also entering politics, under NDA alliance, is also contesting from one seat.
Wait a minute, Brijesh, a lot of new people in Pondicherry, this is Robert Tila. Robert Tila has also made a debut in Puducherry. This is a robot. So, like another 10 years, we might have more of these AIs and robots near the election centers. Vajji, there is another very high-profile election taking place. People are not talking about it, and it's happening in Karnataka because people are focusing on three biggies, which is Tamil Nadu, Vijay, what happens to the left in Kerala, what happens to Mr. Sarma in Assam. But why is this election important in Karnataka, Vajji? This by-election?
Well, this by-election is important for the Congress because it's a matter of prestige for them to stay relevant despite the fact that they've been facing a lot of incumbency with regards to lack of funds, with regards to the guarantees backfiring and all these things. So at a midst of these two elections coming by, and also the drama that unfolded during the seat sharing is something that has caught the attention of everyone in this, because when it came to the Davangere seat, it was supposed to go to a Muslim candidate because of the presence of Muslim voters over there. But then it went to a family member of Shamru Shivshankarappa, his grandson, because like Chief Minister mentioned in his press conference, that we usually give it to sons of family members who have died. So that is where another mindset of giving tickets to family members and the family party came into existence all over again. But for the BJP, it's a matter of gaining their presence in Karnataka by showing that despite the fact that you have 136 seats, we have been able to win the by-polls. That is after 2.5 years of your governance. So for both of them, it's a matter of prestige and how it moves forward for them in the future with regards to how the mood of the state will be. So this is why both these seats are important, be it Davangere and Bhagalkot. Though it is it's quite relevant that it is going to sway the Congress way, but a competition there will change a lot of dynamics.
The prestige issue, Sabyasachi, I'll come to you on this fight which is happening between all the regional parties and election commission. It has been reported everywhere in newspapers. The TMC is saying that the CEC told them to get lost, and the election commission sources are saying that these MPs went inside and started shouting. This is unprecedented in Indian political history. But before that, let me play out a bite of Pinarayi Vijayan.
LDFന് മാത്രമേ പ്രതിബദ്ധതയോടെ നാടിന്റെ പുരോഗതി മുന്നോട്ട് കൊണ്ടുപോകാൻ കഴിയുകയുള്ളൂ എന്നാണ്. ഒരു തരത്തിലുള്ള അവ്യാകൃതങ്ങളും LDF ആകുമ്പോൾ ഉണ്ടാകില്ല എന്നവർക്ക് ഉറപ്പുണ്ട്. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് കേരളത്തിൽ നമ്മുടെ രാജ്യത്തെ തന്നെ ഏറ്റവും കുറഞ്ഞ അഴിമതി നിലനിൽക്കുന്ന സംസ്ഥാനമെന്ന പദവി ലഭിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത്. ഇതിന് കാരണം ഒരു സംശയവുമില്ലാതെ ജനങ്ങൾ കാണുന്നു, LDFന്റെ സംസ്കാരം കൊണ്ടാണ് അത് നേടിയത്.
So Savya, do you think that this trust deficit is bridgeable? I mean to say, all regional parties have found some issue with the CEC.
Well, that's right. See, the regional parties time and again have flagged their concern to the ECI. In fact, the Trinamool Congress in the past has written 8 to 9 letters to the ECI, and the Trinamool Congress says that none of these letters were acknowledged by the ECI. And yesterday also, when the Trinamool Congress delegation went to meet the ECI, they had submitted a memorandum where they had given 6 examples with photographs where they have alleged that the poll observer or the ECI officials are closely working with the BJP candidate. In fact, the Trinamool Congress says that they have submitted photographs to the ECI, and yet the ECI does not acknowledge the problems and concerns which are being raised by the opposition parties. And whether it is the Trinamool Congress, the Samajwadi Party or other regional parties, they have been maintaining the fact that the ECI has to be neutral. The ECI cannot be biased at any given point, and the functioning of the ECI lately has been completely to favor the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Absolutely. Let me go back to Digjyoti. Digjyoti, in Assam you were saying it's an election which does not have a huge issue, but there was one issue. The issue was between Hemanta Biswa Sarma and Gaurav Gogoi. It boiled down to an investigation team, it boiled down to FIRs, it boiled down to the respective spouses, it boiled down to being anti-national, it became very, very personal. That was one issue.
Yes. Although it looks seem to be an issue between the clash between the Gaurav Gogoi and Hemanta Biswa Sarma. But in the ground, really, I am talking about the issueless election because of the ground reality. because throughout last more than 1.5 months, we have been traveled across Assam and we have found that people are been not taking these things as being issue. While we are discussing, while we are talking to the roadside people who are standard or small shop owners or any household wives or any young voters, that they have expressed that they want this, they will stand with the development the way they have been visible in the state throughout the Assam in last 5 years. And moreover, in last February in 2025, the BJP party, one of Rajya Sabha MP, Pavitra Margarita, he raised the first issue of Pakistan-related link with Gaurav Gogoi through a Twitter. And since then, it was a huge discussion in the state. But in ground reality, people, most of the cases, although Gov tried their best, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, even he also tried best to constitute a SIT regarding his relation of Gaurav Gogoi with Pakistan. But people are not so much of interested. And while one more thing that Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, his stand against Mia, Bangladeshi Mia or the enforcement. Yes, that issue has been touched in those areas where the minority blocks are there. And the eviction drive was totally in the forest land. So,
but how, Digjyoti, how is this new 2016 when Ram Madhav was the General Secretary in charge? The same language was used, Khilonjia Sarkar, and in the same language the BJP won power. But Brijesh, issue is not that. The issue is something different. A lot of people say that Himanta Biswa Sarma is running BJP with his Congress friends. Himanta Biswa Sarma says that he finances 30% of the Congress MLAs in Assam, He knows who's going to fight whom. So, are we talking about a person who has become bigger than what he was once he left Congress? Who the Congress itself cannot counter because they have not been able to pitch Gaurav Gogoi, or Gaurav Gogoi has not been able to pitch himself because Chief Minister or the elections at the state, let me rephrase it like that, have become very prime ministerial in nature, one-to-one, alternate kya hai, Vijay, Stalin, that sort of a thing.
Karthikeya, I would say that, Himanta Biswa Sarma has a unique advantage of, a solid congressy in the BJP. He earned his spurs under Tarun Gogoi and the fact of the matter is that he was the one who was all set to succeed him. In the sense that, he was the organizational man, he was the one who was running the organization, strategizing and things like that. And when he went to Bharatiya Janata Party, now he has the organizational might of the party, but he also knows, simultaneously who all is powerful within the Congress party, who all does what. And that is the reason why, when he says that he runs 30% of the Congress, I'm not at all surprised.
Okay.
And the fact of the matter is that, yes, Himanta Biswa Sarma is fighting this particular election on a way that, that the election is all about him. If you look at the demise of Zubin Garg, there is a completely parallel line of investigation which is being done by the Singapore police, the place where this unfortunate incident took place. They are saying that there is no wrongdoing. But if you look at the way, the Assam government is conducting elections, it is very clear that, how things are being...
Okay, Vajji, tell me one thing. You also track Kerala. You have done Congress in Delhi when you were reporting it. What is the difference between Kerala Congress and Assam Congress? Tell me. Why is Kerala Congress in fight this time and Assam Congress is not looking to be in fight this time? What is the difference? Tell me.
One big reason is the face of relevance. Both of them, though, have big leaders over there. They've not been able to make themselves relevant enough on the ground. If you ask about Gaurav Gogoi, he is somebody who plays from Jorhat, but he's only been on the ground for the last 1 year, and what they've been able to not concentrate is the local issues of the ground rather than look at the larger picture of the state narrative on how the BJP has been destroying democracy. But on the ground level is something that they've not been able to touch upon, which they've been doing in the last 1 year, though we've seen the jibe between, like Mr. Brijesh mentioned, jibe between the Pakistan issue and these press conferences there. But what you see in Kerala is completely different. In Kerala, though they have ideological differences, when you see with regards to leadership, there is this unity, though this time around we've seen how there was infighting within the Congress. The biggest reason why in both these places they don't succeed is because of the infighting that they have within themselves. While the cadre believes that this is not infighting, this is leaders expressing their opinions, which you don't see in different parties. But that is something that backfires in an age where media is faster, where everything's relevant. So this is where they lose it when it comes to election in both these states, Kerala and Assam.
Okay, very quickly from Gautam, and then I'll go to Thoya. Gautam, BJP has worked very hard on the Christian voters in Kerala. Has it worked or not?
Absolutely. It has worked to a certain extent, Karthika, but keep in mind that the recent FCRA bill, this has become a major flashpoint in the final days for the Kerala election. And right now we understand that it has been delayed. But with this bill, the BJP has realized that pushing this bill would now alienate the Christian community, a group that they have spent years trying to bring into their fold through this outreach programs that they have called Sneha Yatra and the dialogue with bishops as well. So this is going to be a key thing, because if they alienate the Christian votes because of this one bad move, and that will be on the mind of all the Christian electorate as they go into elections this time as well.
Absolutely. And Thoya, I know the Tamil Nadu is not voting, but how can I have a discussion with reporters and not talk about Tamil Nadu? Sorry. So, I know we were teasing it's Kerala, it's Puducherry and Assam, but I really need to ask Tamil Nadu. So, which way is the wind blowing?
Well, Karthikeya, BJP is actually working really hard in Tamil Nadu as well. But as far as Puducherry is concerned, because Puducherry is having polls going on today, because the NR Congress, BJP and AIADMK is having a very strong hold in Puducherry. It is not the same way in Tamil Nadu, because in Tamil Nadu it is mostly, dominated by two regional parties, that is DMK and AIADMK. But now when you see that TVK entering into the politics, that is going to create a major, havoc, I can tell you, in Tamil Nadu this time, because likely they can see the split in votes as well. Because, when we talk about the youth, the first-time voters, more likely they're going to mostly lean on the TVK because of the popularity that Vijay is, creating in Tamil Nadu as of now. Because when we also see the road shows, the rallies, and the public meetings that Vijay is holding as far, as of now, we can see the crowd that is, literally piling up for just, to have a glimpse of Vijay. But as far as, politics is concerned in Tamil Nadu, the DMK, who is having a strong hold since, decades in Tamil Nadu, on the other hand, even AIADMK is having, strong hold because AIADMK, which was, ruled by two veteran leaders, that is former CM, that is MGR, and former CM Jayalalitha, because both are veteran leaders, and still people do have, the people do support AIDMK as well. But now when you see the Tamil Nadu politics in this 2026 elections, it is going to have a huge vote split, I can tell you, Karthikeya, because
you see, Thoya, the last time, the most important thing is the last time any star who really made a difference in a long term as a legacy to the politics of Tamil Nadu was MGR. After that, stars have come and gone, but no one has behaved the way MGR did, or the state did not behave with any star the way it behaved with MGR. It created a different political identity, and Jayalalitha took it forward. So, one has to see how Vijay behaves and how Tamil Nadu behaves with Vijay. So I would say that this election would be a paradigm shift in case Vijay cuts into both the votes of both the political umbrellas, DMK and ADMK. But if it doesn't, then it becomes election as usual.
It reminds me of one of the conversations you had with a leader from Tamil Nadu, where he said Vijay is going to be a secular one, where he's going to cut votes both from BJP, from DMK.
Secular is a much abused word. Digjyoti, you wanted to come in? Digjyoti? Yes.
Yes. We're talking about this time that.
No, I was talking about Mamaji.
Mama, yes. Mama
don't confuse the viewers.
Ahead of 2020 election. And that's a thing that earlier Himanta Biswa Sarma is called a Dada. Everyone used to call him as a Dada. To get a seat, because as new voters, whose age has been increases with the time. So he coined the term Mama, and it became a very popular in 2021. Since then, he has been calling as a
Okay.
Mama, and it's a brand name, household name in Assam. And the Congress and the opposition, they have been failed, despite the fact that the intellectual class of Assam and all people, they have been suggested to at least contest this election just at least 6 months
Digjyoti,
ahead
what's the
of
difference
assembly.
between both the mamas? The mama from Madhya Pradesh and the mama from Assam. Your mama from Assam is a tough mama. People like him, but people are also very wary of him. The mama in Madhya Pradesh, people just liked him. He was like a benign
also,
mama.
if I can get in 30 seconds, but the mama in Madhya Pradesh was never aspired or was not trying to be the next Hindu Hriday Samrat. The mama in Assam is desperately trying to be the next Hindu Hriday Samrat. And herein lies the difference.
Okay, herein lies the difference. So on this note, let me play out a couple of bites that have come from across the political spectrum. Satish, please run the bites, all the bites that we have got from Kerala. It's time for our break.
I hope that we'll, from the very beginning, I told you, the media persons, that we will come back with more than 100 plus seats. I still maintaining that. We will come back with 100 plus seats. UDF camp is very hopeful that we will get a wonderful margin after the 2001, the biggest margin after the 2001, we hope so. Election Commission, because the postal vote is not here, the officers, those who are in charge of the elections, they had to vote at the facilitation centers, but the ballot paper was not available everywhere. So many of the persons, those who are in charge of the election duty, were not able to exercise that. This is election commission is responsible for that. I have informed the chief election commissioner as well as the chief electoral officer here also.
Definitely, we are expecting government in NDA government in Kerala, and we are requesting the people for vote in favor of NDA.
Kerala's people, they want a change. So they need a change and they will vote for NDA this time. This is the assurance that we have received from the public. And this is the general feeling that we have received from the people also. And we are very optimistic about it. Actually, there is no difference between UDF and LDF. LDF and UDF were ruling Kerala, in 5 years, then another 5 years. But both are the reflections of the same image, the mirror images. They won't make a change. They can't make a change. They are joined together in India alliance. So that is not going to make any difference, any development in Kerala if UDF comes. Only NDA can make this difference.
Kerala, there is a UDF majority. We will win the majority seats, more than 100 seats. Definitely we will win. The result in the local body will be repeated. The thumping majority will be winning. Anti-people activities, policies taken by the government. The Sabarimala God touch and the subsequent events. Protection given by the government for the culprits, for the accused in that particular case. They were protected by the party as well as the government. The living condition of the people, price rise, unemployment, the agrarian sector being neglected, wild animal conflict being neglected. All these aspects are major.
Others see a teenage tantrum. I see you standing your ground. The world sees stubbornness. I see a soft, soft heart. I see you, my daughter, 16 and already owning your story. And I couldn't be more proud. For you, only natural diamonds.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया.
Sometimes I'm confused, sometimes distracted. Still, I chase my dreams. I raise my voice for what I believe in. Winning at life is my habit. Yes. My life is in my hands. Senko presents Bangal Utsav.
What you saw me on the field and off the field is like chalk and cheese.
No guts, no glory, no pain, no gain.
My tendency is to go for magic, not for perfection.
I never give up. I like to win.
Just me being here, it's a statement.
When chips are down, the whole team could have looked up to you, said, Dada is still there.
Every time, whether I scored 100 or a Sachin scored 100 or a Rahul scored 100, the scoreboard said India won.
Let the kids know and the families know that one of the best ways to get a good education, go to a good school and a good college anywhere in the world is if you play a sport well.
There is a quality about me which is why perhaps people feel I'm a perfectionist, because I don't get tired easily.
In Germany, the biggest newspaper was written on the first page, "This is a finishing from Lothar Matthäus' career," and this was motivating me.
I was literally on my phone at home and they're like, oh, we have the results. We suggest that you remove your breast. And I'm like, wait, what?
And now let's talk about Kerala. Kerala is very, very important for the Congress party. Kerala is even more important for the left party, because if left loses Kerala, Kerala will be a place which will mark the obituary of the left politics in the country. Kerala is one state which marked the birth of the left politics in this country. It was the first state they won democratically in 50s. This is the last state which is under their control, and they will lose democratically in this country. Kerala is the last state where they lose power. First they lost power in West Bengal, then they lost power in Tripura, then they lost power in Kerala, if that happens. So Kerala is very, very important. For the Congress party, it's even more important, because Congress is led with a lot of leaders, a lot of people, a lot of important people in the Congress party, like for K.C. Venugopal. Let me straight away go to Nirmal Abraham. Nirmal, good morning. Nirmal, am I audible to you? Okay. Hi, good morning, Nirmal. Oh, Prasanajit is also there. Good morning, Prasanajit. How are you?
Fine.
Good morning. Good to see you. Nirmal, what's happening in Kerala? Is left going out? Can you unmute yourself? Can you unmute yourself, Nirmal? Okay, I think there's a bit of an audio problem. Okay, so Brijesh, tell me, what's your assessment of Kerala?
I think, UDF has an advantage. One of the big reasons is that, usually we see Karnataka voting out the incumbent government, but perhaps 2021 was the first time when they bucked the trend. The fact is that the Muslims voted decisively in favor of UDF. They got their caste calculus right, and it worked perfectly for them. But 2024 general election was the one when the first visible and a very powerful chink in the armor of left came out, when the Congress-led UDF won 18 seats. And it was also decided, it was thought that at that point of time, the Muslims, which constitute like, more than 27% in the politics of Kerala, thought that the Congress can be the only party who can defend them in the national, national arena. And that is the reason why they gave a bumper voting behind, they solidified the entire voting, and the BJP, the Congress was able to win 18 seats. And therein, it was thought that, from that, if you take 2024 general election, it was thought that, that will be an easy cakewalk for the Congress party. There are various other issues also, that there's a rise of the BJP, though nobody is saying that they are going to win many seats, but there's definitely going to be an increase in the number of percentage. Them winning the mayoral election in Thiruvananthapuram was a shot in arm as far as the BJP is concerned. But the chips are slightly down for the LDF. There's also a problem within the UDF, if you remember, the issue of Shashi Tharoor and other popular leaders, and there was a division within the UDF. But if you ask me, I would hedge my bet on UDF because on ground it looks like that they are in a much better position.
Okay, Nirmal, are you back with me? So Nirmal is not back with me. Prasanajit, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, Prasanajit, what's happening? You're closer to Assam. What's happening in Assam? Assam's election made the most noise, even more than Tamil Nadu, even more than Kerala. It became a high decibel election.
Yes, yes. I mean, there is this typical strategy of polarization on the part of BJP, which tries to otherize the Bangladesh origin or Bengali origin Muslims, terming them as Mias. But the problem with BJP's discourse is that BJP has projected itself in a poor light as far as corruption is concerned. And the allegations that were made against the chief minister and his family is now in focus for everyone to watch out. And there are numerous also instances of various kinds of vandalism, various kinds of attacks on opposition parties, physical attacks on opposition parties. And there seems to be a kind of a fatigue after 10 years of BJP rule. And Assam is also, as you know, is a multi-ethnic society, or rather, it's ethnically divided. Our homes have lost power for last 10 years, and that's a major concern. The 6 communities which were demanding ST status, that included the 6 major indigenous son of the soil communities of Assam, on which BJP has faltered. And this has completely gone against the BJP. Adivasis also have floated a new party which cuts into the vote base of BJP with JMM, Hemanta Soren campaigning in Assam.
Okay.
And therefore you can see Adivasi and Ahoms and Ahom Kin tribes have moved away from BJP in Upper Assam. Bodos are also divided between UPPL and BPF, so Bodo vote is definitely divided. And in Lower Assam, in Barak Valley also, Congress has strategically placed candidates who are able to challenge the credentials of the BJP candidates. So therefore, it's a tough, tightrope walk for BJP in Assam.
I was under the impression, Prasannaji, that the tough mama politics was working. Let me introduce my guest. I am joined by Sandeep Pukun, Deputy Editor, Hindu. Thank you, Sandeep, for being with me. Dr. Sujata Chaudhary, Editor, Eastern Chronicle. Thank you, Madam. Nirmal Abraham. I hope my voice is reaching you now, Nirmal.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. And George Kalyavali, Editor, National Affairs. Deepika, thank you so much, George, for being with me. Thank you.
Yes, I can hear.
Thank you, thank you. Sandeep, you tell me. Now, we had this conversation on this Mamma Mia whole issue. That's and that's not the ABBA song I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Assamese politics. So, does Congress stand a chance, Sandeep, in Assam this time?
So this is an election that has changed. I was there in December, January. And at that point of time, Karthike, it seemed to me that, this has been a sort of wave and trough kind of a thing. In September, when the biggest Assamese icon of contemporary times, Zubin Garg, died in Singapore, there was a lot of anger, and much of that anger was actually directed at the government, at the ruling party. So it seemed that it is going to be the biggest election issue at that point of time. But that wasn't the case. The state government quickly moved in, made some arrests, put people in jail. So at least visibly they tried to show that they have taken action. The anger somewhat ebbed. And by the time I was in January, it seemed what Professor Biswas was just saying. I actually agree with much of what he has said. It seemed from a distance as if it's going to be a completely one-sided battle. And BJP had many things going for them. Of course, the chief minister is very, very popular. They have a host of welfare schemes. The Arunodaya is one of the most popular schemes where women get direct cash transfers. So it seemed almost every section is getting something or the other. Girl children who do well in exams get scooty. People who get to post-graduation stage, they get scholarship in terms of cash transfer. So lots of things were going at that point of time. But there are, issues which are, under the surface, and they may play a major role. As Professor Biswas was saying, look, Upper Assam, which is Eastern Assam, is going to be very crucial. They say that whoever wins Upper Assam wins Assam. And if you look at BJP's strike rate or track record in the last 2 assembly elections, they have done exceedingly well in these states, the Northern Bank and in these regions, in upper Assam areas. But there is discontent. There is the issue of six communities who were promised scheduled tribe status, but that promise has largely stayed on paper. That hasn't translated into reality. Then there is, as Professor Biswas was saying, that it is well known that at least in terms of Congress, most of the ruling leaders, chief ministers have been from the Ahom community. So there is a sense that Ahoms have missed out during BJP rule. Even Mr. Sonowal was not an Ahom. He's from Upper Assam, but he's a Sonowal Kosari. So he's from Sonowal Kosari tribe. So I would say that, and I'm not going to get into the merits of the allegations, but the allegations, rather sensational allegations made by the Congress just before polling, that also has become a talking point. See, all along we were talking about welfare schemes, Arunodaya. If you see in the last 4 days, the BJP and the chief minister actually they were forced to defend all kinds of allegations of multiple passports, offshore assets, corruption, etc. So that, whether again that will translate into votes, we don't know. But that has become a talking point as well. Then there is the Gen Z factor, because justice for Zubin is also something that the Congress has promised, that if they come to power, in the first 100 days they will provide justice. So, it's very vague actually, but even then, because it doesn't really tell you concretely what they are going to do or how differently are they going to approach the matter. But
I think, Sandeep, that's going to be a tricky thing. The coroner's office in Singapore has already said.
They have an absolutely different take on
they had a different take on Mr. Zubin's death. So, for the Congress to have promised that there will be speedy justice when the other party is saying that there is a different side to the story which the domestic narrative has not taken into account is something I think the Congress will need to. But yeah, I completely agree that sometimes in the narrative which runs in Delhi is different from the narrative or the conversation which is in Assam, Guwahati. Yeah. It can look one-sided from Delhi, but the election need not be one-sided when it comes to the state.
In any case, you see the track record, Karthike. If you see the track record, even last time around, NDA managed 75 seats and vote share of just about 33+% in 2021.
Yes.
And Congress was, I think,
29.4.
About 29 or 30%. So very, it's a 4% gap, but the number of seats was double. BJP got
I think it was also because of the fact that, the way BJP projected leaders, that there was also a shift of politics that is taking place from 2014 onwards. Congress had this tradition of not projecting. And, BJP had this, tradition of projecting. Congress tried doing that in a couple of states like Punjab and other. So, a lot of I would say goalposts have shifted. Quick comment from Dr. Chaudhary. Madam, is it a tight contest as both Prasannajeet and Sandeep Pukan just mentioned? Not a one-way street for Himanta Biswa Sarma?
So, as far as this election is concerned, I think this will be a tough, it won't be an easy cakewalk this time because as per the allegation, but they have mentioned, he has a lot of allegations this time. His family is targeted. Then we have Zubin Garg case and many other cases that has come into the forefront. So this time, in both in the central Assam or in the upper Assam or in southern Assam, I believe that won't be a very easy cakewalk actually for the BJP. In southern Assam, if you see, especially in Barak Valley, in Silchar and all, we have seen that the BJP contestant and the Congress contestant, they are having equally, they are having a code of war actually. There's a huge roadshow everywhere and people have taken up all the topics which the previous government could not do the work, and they are taking more into and digging more into the things which they want to do in the future. So in Barak Valley, if you see, there is an equal chance for the Congress as well as for the BJP. because the candidate is a favorable candidate here in Barak Valley. And if you go to Central Assam, I say that like if you go to Guwahati Central and all, there is a change of taste, there's a change of flair which is taking up. People are opting for the allied governments, which have we have Punki Chaudhary, which has come up with a new face. Though she's a very young very young lady, but she has come up with she's giving a tough time. I won't say a very tough time because BJP already has a big hold in Guwahati, in central Guwahati, but they are getting into a march which...
Tell me, a lot of people are saying that there is resentment within BJP because, you know, the old timers feel that Mr. Sarma is running BJP with its old Congress friends.
Actually, that is not... No, when you come to the... I didn't get your question actually.
A lot of people say that the old timers in BJP are not happy with Himanta Biswa Sarma because he seems to be running BJP or Assam with his old Congress friends.
No,
okay, ma'am, I need to interrupt you. There's an interview of Nitin Nabeen which is happening. To all of you, we'll be dipping into this interview for 7 to 8 minutes.
इंटरव्यू में भी मिलना हुआ और आपको
पटना में
ऐसे भी मिलना हुआ
जी। मैं इन चुनावों के बारे में पूछना चाहूंगी कि केरलम, तमिलनाडु और बंगाल, इन तीनों में बीजेपी की पकड़ अभी तक मजबूत नहीं मानी जाती थी, लेकिन क्या इस बार कुछ अलग दिखने को मिल रहा है?
देखिए, तीनों राज्यों को अगर आप देखें, सबसे पहले अगर बंगाल की बात करें, बंगाल में 2016 में हम कहाँ थे और 2021 में हम कहाँ थे, और जिस प्रकार से लगातार वहाँ पर की परिस्थितियाँ विपरीत अलग तरह की हैं, राजनीति प्रतिस्पर्धा अलग है, राजनीति के रंजिश के रूप में अगर नज़र आता है तो वो बंगाल में नज़र आता है, और उसके बावजूद भी हमारा लगातार ग्रोथ हो रहा है और 38% पे वोट पे हम पहुँचे हैं। तो निश्चित रूप से आज के डेट में हम ही फर्स्ट कंटेंडर हैं उस टीएमसी और बीजेपी के इन फाइटिंग में। अगर आप देखते हैं तो मैं मानता हूं कि बंगाल में लगातार बीजेपी ने अपनी जड़ें मजबूत की हैं और इस बार तो हम निश्चित रूप से वहां सरकार बनाने जा रहे हैं।
केरलम और तमिलनाडु? अब
केरलम में आप देखिए कि कहां से हम 2% वोट कुछ दिन पहले तक था, अभी 20%। अभी हमने लोकल बॉडी चुनाव में जिस प्रकार से मेयर, तिरुवनंतपुरम जैसे बड़े सेंटर पे हमारा बनना, और कहीं ना कहीं इस बार जो चुनाव है, मैं मानता हूँ कि बीजेपी के जो बहुत लंबे समय तक एलडीएफ यूडीएफ की मैच फिक्सिंग गेम चलती थी, उससे इस बार केरलम की जनता बाहर आना चाहती है।
आप किसकी वोट काटेंगे केरलम में?
हम तो मानते हैं कि हम अपना वोट बैंक बढ़ा रहे हैं और मैं मानता हूं कि जनता के सामने जो विकल्प नहीं था, आज सामने से भाजपा के रूप में एक विकल्प दिख रहा है। मैं कई रोड शो और बाकी कार्यक्रमों में गया, जिस प्रकार से पल्स है, डेफिनेटली भाजपा अब सामने से नजर आ रही है।
तो राहुल गांधी कहते हैं कि आपकी और एलडीएफ की एक दूसरे के साथ एक सेटिंग हो गई है।
राहुल गांधी जी का जो ज्ञान का अध्ययन है इतना कमजोर है। अगर आप देखिए कि इसी एलडीएफ और यूडीएफ का कॉम्बिनेशन देश भर में बंगाल में चुनाव लड़े, पिछला चुनाव 7 में 10 वर्षों तक दिल्ली में सरकार चलाए, उन्हीं के समय की सरकार थी। बगल के तमिलनाडु में अलायंस में रहते हैं। तो मेरा ये मानना है कि ये बातें किसको बता रहे हैं? केरलम की जनता जानती है कि जो मैच फिक्सिंग गेम आप खेलते हैं, भाजपा तो खुलकर एलडीएफ और यूडीएफ एक कम्युनिस्टों की जो पद्धति रही है, हमने त्रिपुरा में उनको समाप्त किया, बंगाल में समाप्त किया और आने वाले समय में इनको पूरी तरह से समाप्त भी करेंगे और कांग्रेस मुक्त भारत तो हमारा सपना है।
तो वो रेवंत रेड्डी ने कहा कि पिनरई विजयन के लिए तो मोदी जी गॉडफादर है, उन्होंने कहा।
देखिए, बोल तो ये मैच फिक्सिंग गेम है, वो बीजेपी से क्लोज दिखाने की बात करके अपनी राजनीति रोटी सेक रहे हैं, लेकिन वहाँ की जनता को प्रति सबरीमाला इशू भाजपा ने दोनों को कटघरे में खड़ा किया। बाहर में वही सबरीमाला के इशू को लेकर कहीं भी मुखर नजर आते हैं क्या राहुल गांधी? वहाँ जाते हैं तो सबरीमाला याद आता है, हिंदू याद आता है, और जैसे उसके बाहर निकलते हैं तो स्टेलिन के राज में तो हिम्मत नहीं है। तो कहीं ना कहीं ये जो खेल है जनता समझती है अब तो सोशल मीडिया और इलेक्ट्रॉनिक दुनिया इतनी तेज है कि आप केरल में क्या बोलेंगे और तमिलनाडु में अलग बोलेंगे, ये नहीं चलता है।
और असम में क्या होने वाला है? पुराने प्रदर्शन को बेटर करेंगे या फिर एक एंटी इनकम्बेंसी दिखती है आपको? क्या हो रहा है वहाँ?
मैं तो असम के कई कार्यक्रमों में गया हूँ
जी।
लोगों का जो रिस्पॉन्स है वो पिछले परफॉर्मेंस को तो हम बेटर करेंगे और कांग्रेस को जितना और कड़ा हार वहाँ देखने को मिलेगा। बड़े पैमाने पर कोशिश किए थे कि अलायंस कराएंगे, कुछ नई नैरेटिव बनाएंगे, लेकिन कुछ नहीं चला और पूरी तरह से कांग्रेस और हताशा और निराशा में वहाँ को नजर
बहुत ही पर्सनल अटैक्स चल रहे हैं वहाँ पर। क्या ये एक डेमोक्रेसी के लिए सही है?
देखिए, मैं मानता हूँ कि जब नेशनल इंटरेस्ट की बात हो तो निश्चित रूप से उठाना चाहिए, लेकिन जहाँ पर खेल अभी जो खेला जा रहा है, जिस प्रकार के बयान दिए जा रहे हैं, आज तो पूरी तरह से हमारे प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस हमारी तरफ से स्पष्ट रूप से कि जिस प्रकार से नाम के शब्दों को कैसे खेल करके पासपोर्ट का जो खेल खेला है वो तो आने वाले समय में स्पष्ट रूप से हो जाएगा। और मेरा ये मानना है कि राजनीति में किसी भी हाल में शब्दों की मर्यादा होनी चाहिए, लेकिन जब नेशनल इंटरेस्ट की बात आती है तो उसको सामने रखना भी हमारा कर्तव्य है।
शब्दों की मर्यादा के बारे में आप कह रहे हैं तो मैं ये जरूर पूछूंगी कि मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे ने कहा कि अगर आप नमाज पढ़ रहे हैं, कुरान में लिखा है, उन्होंने कहा कि अगर आप नमाज पढ़ रहे हैं और कोई जहरीला सांप आ जाए तो आप नमाज को रोक के जहरीले सांप को आपको मार देना चाहिए और बीजेपी और आरएसएस जो है वो जहरीला सांप है।
अब हम सोच सकते हैं कि 2 दिन पहले का उनका बयान और आज का बयान, मतलब कल का ही बयान, जो 2 दिन लगातार जो उनके बयान आ रहे हैं, पूरी तरह से सांप्रदायिक रूप से लोगों को उकसाने का काम करना। और दूसरी बात, कितनी मतलब ओछी सोच है कि लोगों को इस प्रकार से आक्रोशित करना। और जिस प्रकार का बयान राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष के रूप में दे रहे हैं, मुझे लगता है कि राहुल गांधी जी इतनी उनको समझाते हैं, वो जाकर वहाँ पर कुछ शब्द का और अलग उपयोग करते हैं। चूँकि कांग्रेस की प्रथा रही है, ऐसे ऐसे शब्दों का प्रयोग करते हैं जिससे कि समाज में विभक्त रूप नजर आए। लेकिन मेरा ये मानना है, कांग्रेस ने जब जब ऐसे शब्दों का प्रयोग किया है, जनता ने हमको जीत का माला पहनाया है।
तो आप कह रहे हैं कि चेला गुरु को सिखा रहा है?
अब चेला गुरु जो आप समझ सकते हैं, जिसके रिमोट से चलने वाला व्यक्ति कौन चेला है कौन गुरु। राहुल और सोनिया गांधी जी और उनका जो परिवार है, कुनबा है, ये कुनबा किसी भी व्यक्ति को रिमोट से चलाता है, सिस्टम से। उनको उतना ही बोलना होता है। खड़गे जी बेचारे सज्जन व्यक्ति हैं, कम से कम इस तरह के मर्यादा के शब्दों का प्रयोग नहीं करते थे, तो गांधी परिवार का शब्द था, अब खड़गे जी के मुंह में से डाल के बुलवाया जा रहा है।
खड़गे जी केरलम में कह रहे हैं कि ये यहाँ पर जो है वो शिक्षित और समझदार लोग रहते हैं और गुमराह नहीं कर सकती बीजेपी ऐसे लोगों को। उन्होंने ये भी कहा कि गुजरात नहीं है ये, तो आप ऐसे बयानों को कैसे देखते हैं? क्योंकि क्या इससे क्षेत्रीयकरण नहीं बढ़ता?
मैं ये मानता हूँ कि गुजरात की उन्होंने उदाहरण दिया, उसी गुजरात से सरदार पटेल और महात्मा गांधी भी आए और उसी गुजरात के व्यक्तित्व को आज देश ने इतना आशीर्वाद दिया है कि देश के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी आज पूरे देश को आगे लेके चल रहे हैं विकास के मायने पे, कई पैमाने पे। मैं ये मानता हूँ कि ये उनकी नाकामी जहाँ उनको दिखती है वहाँ नासमझी समझ में आती है, वहाँ अज्ञानता नजर आती है। जहाँ उनको सफलता मिलती है वहाँ ज्ञानी व्यक्ति आ जाते हैं। तो ये उनकी नासमझी है। जनता तो देख रही है कि जहाँ जहाँ वो हारते हैं तो कभी ईवीएम को दोष देते हैं, कभी जनता को दोष है। थोड़ा दोष अपने माथे पर रखते तो कुछ नया सीख के आते।
अध्यक्ष जी, ये जो क्षेत्रीयकरण है इन चुनावों में बहुत कुछ देखने को मिला है, क्योंकि बंगाल में भी यही कहा जाता था कि अमित शाह जी और मोदी जी जो हैं वो बाहरी हैं, और ये भी कहा गया कि अमित शाह जी अगर आ रहे हैं बंगाल में तो शाकाहारी भोजन तो मिलेगा नहीं, तो वो नॉनवेज खाना चाहिए उन्हें, ऐसे भी कहा जाता है।
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी शुरू से एक पॉलिसी पर काम की कि हम राष्ट्र प्रथम की बात करते हैं, लेकिन ये जो क्षेत्रीयवाद करने का पर्पस ही यही होता है कि भाजपा की राष्ट्रवाद को कमजोर करने का। लेकिन ये राष्ट्रवाद के अंदर ही क्षेत्र है, उनके लिए दिक्कत है कि वो क्षेत्र के अंदर राष्ट्र नहीं देख पाते हैं। और मेरा ये मानना है कि ये खेल एक आध बार चलता है। आज देश के कई राज्यों में जो इस तरह की चीजें पनपी, आज भाजपा के प्रति समर्थन और हमको विश्वास फिर से मिला। और मैं मानता हूं कि बंगाल इस बार पूरी तरह से बंगाल को ही बचाने की लड़ाई है और बंगाल के लोग इस बार लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं। और कोई प्रधानमंत्री जिस राज्य से समर्थन मिलता है तब वो प्रधानमंत्री बनते हैं, और गृह मंत्री किसी राज्य का व्यक्ति नहीं होता, पूरे राष्ट्र का होता है। ये समझदारी अगर हमारे क्षेत्रीय दलों को नहीं आती, और ममता तो शुरू से यही बंगाल के सेंटिमेंट को खेल कर राजनीति करना चाहिए। आज जिस मुद्दे से उनको सत्ता मिली, न वहाँ रोजगार है, भ्रष्टाचार चरम पर है, अराजकता का बोलबाला है, लोकल गुंडागर्दी जो अपने आप में किसी भी राज्य में उतने तूती नहीं बोलता हो जितना टीएमसी के गुंडे अड्डा की राजनीति कर रहे हैं। तो कहीं ना कहीं आम जनमानस से जो वसूली है वो देश में किसी भी राज्य में नहीं हो जितना बंगाल में।
वो तो कहते हैं कि आप एसआईआर के नाम पर आप ध्रुवीकरण की राजनीति कर रहे हैं, मुसलमानों का नाम काट रहे हैं, आप हिंदू मुसलमान बंगाल में लेके आए हैं।
देखिए, बांग्लादेशी को आप बुला के रखिएगा तो निश्चित रूप से हम तो उस पर उठाएंगे, लेकिन जहाँ तक एसआईआर की बात है, एसआईआर में तो हिंदू का भी नाम कटा है, लेकिन जो बांग्लादेशी, जो मुसलमान बांग्लादेश से आकर यहाँ पर अपना नागरिकता लेने का प्रयास करेगा या उस प्रकार से खेल खेलेगा तो निश्चित रूप से उस पर कार्रवाई हो रही है। आने वाले समय में और कड़ी कार्रवाई होगी। हम तो स्पष्ट कहते हैं, ममता दीदी आप निश्चिंत रहिए, बंगाल की जनता की चिंता अब हम करने वाले हैं। आपने तो केवल बांग्लादेशियों की चिंता की।
तो एसआईआर की जो प्रक्रिया है, चाहे आपकी सरकार बने या ना बने, वो प्रक्रिया चलती रहेगी।
देखिए, इस देश की जनता ने हमें मत दिया है इस देश को सुरक्षित और विकसित बनाने का, तो निश्चित रूप से देश के किसी भी प्रांत में किसी भी पार्टी की कोई भी सरकार हो, राज्य के रूप में हमारा कर्तव्य है, हम उसको पूरा करेंगे।
नितिन जी, वो
So Nitin Nabeen said, one, they'll form the government in Assam. They're pretty hopeful of a very impressive performance in Kerala. They are also very hopeful of making a government in West Bengal. But let's begin with Kerala. Let me straight away go to George. George, your opening comments on what's happening in Kerala. Do you think that left can go for a hat-trick, or Pinarayi Vijayan is in a bit of a spot this time?
Good morning. In Kerala, this is a very close fight going on between LDF and UDF, and BJP also is trying to gain more votes and more percentage of votes plus few seats also. This can change, this elections, as you all know, Pinarayi Vijayan-led LDF is trying for a hat-trick, a third time, on the plank of development in Kerala, because practically last LDF government has done something on the development front, that better schools, better hospitals, and better roads. These directly can be seen in Kerala, whoever come to. But other issues like Sabarimala, LDF is trying to, whatever LDF is trying, UDF is trying to, go against this, because there was a clear advantage for UDF when the election, before the elections were announced. But later on, when the polling comes very close, today, exactly when today, it seems it is very close now. The shift in few percentage of votes in the Christian community, the Idava community, and the Nayar community, basically these three are the major, plus Muslims. This Muslim community seems to be very close to Congress and UDF this time. Majority of Muslim votes will go to, definitely will go to Congress. But the other, it seems to be a split, especially in the Idava community, which is one of the most dominant community in Kerala, with almost 23% of votes. And earlier they were always been an ally or with siding with the LDF or CPM, because CPM and CPI are the biggest Hindu party in Kerala, with the majority of Idavas supporting them. Now the Idava leader, SNDP Yogam President Vellapalli Nadeshan, is with Pinarayi Vijayan, but his son and his party, BDJS, Tushar Vellapalli and BDJS, is an ally of NDA and BJP. This seems that, there will be a clear division of votes among Idavas this time. And there is earlier, the Nayar community, another dominant group in the Hindu upper caste. The NSS president, Sukumaran Nayar, is definitely siding LDF. He is openly saying that, but majority or a sizable section are with the UDF and some are with the NDA. There is a clear split among these votes.
Okay, so
that happens in the Christian votes also.
Okay, you're saying it's happening in the Christian votes also. Nirmal, your opening comments, is that the case in Kerala?
No, I believe there is a strong and anti-incumbency. I know the surveys show otherwise, but the facts don't show the same thing, because from 2021, the last time that NDA won, yes, they won, had a better victory than 2016, won by 99 seats in 2021, only 91 seats in 2016. That has never happened in the history of Kerala. But after that, if you look at each of the by-elections that came in 22, 23, 24, in different places, either the UDF accumulated more votes or the left lost a considerable amount of votes. Trikakara was won by election. Now, these are all indicators. Trikakara, the UDF candidate, won with double the number of votes. Puducherry won with fourfold number of votes. Nilambur, we got back Nilambur. So if you look at each by-election after that, there was clear anti-incumbency. Either the LDF lost a substantial amount of votes or the UDF gained a substantial amount of votes. Plus, if you look at the Lok Sabha elections, in 2024, UDF made a clean sweep, 18 seats. LDF only managed to get one, that too in Alathur. I would argue that's those are, most of which are personal votes, because it was a very strong candidate with a very strong legacy in the region. Even in the local body elections, which the LDF dominated for the last 25 years, they were decimated this year. So I don't understand what changed from December 2025 to April 2026, where there was nothing substantial done by the left government in those 3 months that could change the results of the survey. I'm really surprised by the surveys that were put out by media outlets in Kerala. Even I doubt the credibility of that, because when I talk to independent pollsters, I've been friends with a lot of independent pollsters in Kerala. They tell me a different story. They tell me it's either 80 to 85 seats for the UDF, a maximum of 60 seats for the LDF. Because for a common man, if you want to look at the facts, these are the facts. Every election after 2021, LDF has lost a considerable amount of votes. Plus, there have been a considerable amount of controversies. Shabrimala Gold, the Global Ayyappa Sangamam, their shift in positions with certain religious communities, and the fallout of the health sector, public health sector, has really had a big fallout. So all of this is visible to people. So I don't think there is going to be a hat trick. If that happens, I would say, I know this is a very wild statement to make. I would not accept Kerala to be the most literate state in India. I would definitely not, because that would show that they have fallen for the PR works. See, I don't side with BJP or Congress. As a citizen who has lived here for the past 10 years, it is a shame if they win, because they have had their fair share of controversy and they deserve to lose, in my opinion. But the surveys, I have no idea how it came about, where at least 3 or 4 surveys showed that the LDF would win comfortably. I don't think that's
the surveys can go anywhere. You were part of the show when the surveys were saying that the Congress is going to sweep Haryana, and when the results came, everything went all right. And now I'm going to open this debate to all of you on theme-based issues. It's not going to be about Kerala, Puducherry or Assam anymore. SIR issue, leadership issue, the leadership issue within the Congress in Kerala, the larger issues plaguing both Bharatiya Janata Party, EC versus all the regional parties. But we'll take them up after a short break. But before that, a lot of reactions have come from Kerala. Let me play them out for you. And yes, one from Pradyut Bordoloi from Assam also.
Extremely important day. It's an extremely important election. I am very happy that I am able to be a part of it as a voter. I'm happy that I'm a part of it as a candidate in Nemam. And I'm happy and I'm very pleased to be and honored to be a part of it as the chairman of the NDA as well. So on many levels, I'm extremely honored and privileged to be participating in this very, very important election in Kerala's political history. And I am requesting every voter to come out, participate in these elections, vote in these elections, and make your vote about change, make your vote about the future of Kerala. I am 100% sure already you can see parties like the Congress party and the CPM forced to talk about Vikasanam. 6 months ago, 10 months ago, they were talking about everything else. They were trying to create controversy. They were lying through their teeth, trying to distract people. They are forced by the BJP NDA to start talking about Vikasanam. They don't have a vision. They don't have a plan. That is a different thing. But BJP NDA's strong showing in these elections will certainly change the orbit of our state, will change the narrative, political narrative, and make politicians more accountable for the prosperity of our people and prosperity of our state.
We are going to sweep the election. We will cross 100 more seats in these elections. The atmosphere in the state is like that. People are very much for a change. They are fed up with this Pinarayi Vijayan as the Chief Minister for the last 10 years. The question before the people in this election is whether this anti-people, arrogant Chief Minister has to continue 5 more years. They are telling not at all. This is the answer we are hearing from everywhere. You can see Lord Ayyappa's gold has been taken away. The theft happened. This government is trying to cover up the culprits of that gold theft case. They are trying to cover up the case itself. In this people court, the court will have a verdict very clearly. The people court have a verdict. We don't want the government who supported the gold theft culprits.
In Armola constituency, we will win with a very clear majority more than we got back in 2021. LDF definitely will get the third chance because all the developmental projects the government has carried out during this time. See, take the case of Pathanamthitta. If you look around, you can see what dramatic and what a fantastic changes has happened in the town. Because you can see the stadium, you can see the hospital, you can see all the other new offices, new roads, beautiful roads you can see. So this has happened during this tenure, and definitely people, they are watching all these things. No, they cast their vote if I am casting vote, I cast vote for my constituency. So definitely for development. So that's it. Definitely for development and social welfare activities, people, they have decided to vote for LDF.
Definitely. We are expecting government in India government in Kerala, and we are requesting the people for vote in favor of NDA.
Kerala, there is a UDF majority. We will win the majority seats, more than 100 seats. Definitely we will win. The result in the local body will be repeated. The thumping majority will be winning. Anti-people activities, policies taken by the government. The Sabarimala God kept and the subsequent events. Protection given by the government for the culprits, for the accused in that particular case. They were protected by the party as well as the government. The living condition of the people, price rise, unemployment, the agrarian sector being neglected, wild animal conflict being neglected. All these aspects are major.
I have just cast my vote, and I'm just because I couldn't transfer my voting right when I decided to file my nomination as a Bharatiya Janata Party candidate from Dispur. I tried last minute, but then since it didn't get transferred, so I came here to cast my vote first thing in the morning. So I've cast my vote now, so I'm heading back to Dispur. I have no comment because she's known for her foul mouth, and she says all kinds of things all the time. So I wish her well. She should do well.
I hope people of Assam will realize the real picture and will vote for development, peace, and future of Assam. The future of Assam, as of now, is not so good. And I heard bus loads, train loads of outsiders are coming, like they did in Karnataka, they did in Haryana, they did in other places, in Bihar. So I hope Assamese people will not allow outsiders to decide their future. Assam is for Assamese and Indians, but the Assamese has its own identity due to Saulung Sukafa and our Mahapurukh Hankadev. So, though we are Indian, we cannot dilute our Assamese identity. And this election is for Assam only. So, only residents of Assam, people who work for Assam, people who think for Assam should only be allowed to vote. No outsider who may be Indian but who may come and transfer their votes should not be allowed to decide the future of Assam.
Others see a teenage tantrum. I see you standing your ground. The world sees stubbornness. I see a soft, soft heart. I see you, my daughter, 16 and already owning your story. And I couldn't be more proud. For you, only natural diamonds.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
In Assam, the debate over infiltration is back.
এইটোৱে হৈছে বিজেপিৰ সংকল্প, এয়াই হৈছে বিজেপিৰ প্ৰতিজ্ঞা।
Will NRC settle the question of identity?
दोनों चाहते हैं कि डराकर धमकाकर इस देश की जनता पर राज करें।
Or will the fight over borders will shape this election?
From the ground, the questions that matter, the voices that shape the vote. India votes. Only on News 9.
What you saw me on the field and off the field is like chalk and cheese.
No guts, no glory, no pain, no gain.
My tendency is to go for magic, not for perfection.
I never give up. I like to win.
Just me being here, it's a statement.
When chips are down, the whole team could have looked up to you, said, Dada is still there.
Every time, whether I scored 100 or a Sachin scored 100 or a Rahul scored 100, the scoreboard said India won.
Let the kids know and the families know that one of the best ways to get a good education, go to a good school and a good college anywhere in the world is if you play a sport well.
There is a quality about me which is why perhaps people feel I'm a perfectionist, because I don't get tired easily.
In Germany, the biggest newspaper was written on the first page, "This is a finishing from Lothar Matthäus' career," and this was motivate me.
I was literally on my phone at home and they're like, oh, we have the results. We suggest that you remove your breast. And I'm like, wait, what?
And now let me begin this segment by a breaking news. Suren Daimari, the Congress candidate for Udalguri, has resigned from the party just a day before the assembly elections, citing a lack of support and betrayal by the leadership. So that's coming in. So he must have resigned yesterday. A little bit from Sandeep Pukan on this candidate. Then I'll go to Prasannaji. You know, these sort of resignations really spoil the mood.
Well, I mean, it's a bad optic, but frankly, Kartike, in the Boro Territorial Council of the 15 assembly seats, Congress is hardly a player. They're a marginal player. The fight there would be between the Boro People's Front, which is an ally of the BJP, and that's the interesting bit, and UPPL, United People's Party Liberal, which is again an ally of the BJP, except that in this assembly election, they haven't formed the alliance. So in the case of BJP, I mean, heads you win, tails you lose. I mean, in the sense that, they will, whichever party, BJP itself is contesting on 4 and 11 to the Boro People's Front. So that's how they have broken up the 15. But let's say if UPPL wins a few seats, even that will come to the kitty of the BJP.
Okay, that will come to the kitty of the BJP. Prasannaji, tell me, has the shift in Assam politics taken place? 2016, I remember, When I went there, the slogan was Khilonjiya Sarkar. That was the word that was being used by Ram Madhav and his team. Those were the articles, the government for the indigenous, by the indigenous. Then came Sarbanand Sonowal, then the entire part, the baton shifted to Hemanta Biswa Sarma, and he started projecting himself, as Brijesh was saying, as a very strong Hindu face like Yogi Adityanath. Hindu Hriday Samrat, and he took on the issue of SIR, the Mia, land jihad. Do you think that that is what is working for BJP in Assam?
It would have worked for BJP if Hemanta Biswa Sarma would not have parceled out land to Adanis and Ambanis and to private sector. The way privatization has happened in Assam and the attendant corruption, which has given a kind of a facelift to many of the unknown ruling elite who are part of the ruling party as well. That has created a different impression that this whole idea of land jihad and all that is ultimately to give out the land to non-indigenous people, to Marwaris, to Biharis, to Gujaratis. And this has created a different sense of crisis in Lower Assam. As far as Ahom people are concerned, they are far more rooted on the ground, and they found it a kind of a destabilizing move of their own identity. Their Karenghor, Ronghor is going to be controlled by outsiders now, and this has become a very important issue. In Assamese understanding of history, the role of Mama is not very positive. The Mama was killed by Lachit Barphukan because Mama was reluctant and negligent to fight the enemy. So therefore, the whole idea of Mama symbolism is not really working on the ground. And then this other factor of minority voters. Bengali Muslim voters still will dominate around 45 seats. And their swing will decide which party will come to power. As Sandeep ji was pointing out about Bodoland, in Bodoland, UPPL definitely has a swing. Anti-incumbency towards BPF, and BJP is acting in favor of UPPL. And this time it may not be that easy that UPPL will just join the BJP. There will be hard bargain. In Karbi Anglong too, there is a huge kind of an anti-incumbency. In Dima Hasao, there is an anti-incumbency. In Barak Valley, there is an anti-incumbency. So there is an anti-incumbency counter wave in Assam, with Congress buttressing the allegations of corruption on a particular family.
Okay.
So it's not an easy walk, it's a tightrope walk for BJP at this moment.
Okay, you are saying it's a tightrope walk. Okay, my second theme, which I said I'm going to discuss, SIR has been behaving differently in different states. It did not work for Congress and Lalu sir in Bihar, but I don't know how it's working for Mamta Banerjee in West Bengal, where more than 92 lakh people are out of the list. I don't know. I don't know how SIR exercise would work in other states. So, Dr. Chaudhary, how has SIR an issue or an exercise panned out in Assam? Madam, can you unmute yourself? Can you unmute yourself?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
So this election, the scenario is completely different. As they have mentioned, Mr. Pukan have also mentioned that and Mr. Prasenjit have also mentioned the indigenous sentiments of Assam have taken a different route. Previously, during the BJP party, we have only seen that it was the development, and in the name of development, things were given to the people who are not the indigenous people from Assam, and that has created a resentment in the state actually. So Congress, with all its alliance, have taken the issues, and now they are taking up the issues which are for the pro-Assamese, they are looking into the issues which are for the people of Assam. They're looking into these things, and as far as during the BJP government, what happened is that, as far as my opinion, what I say is that there are the switching off of all the strong candidates from the Congress to the BJP has also, that was also a calculative move. It was more of a political strategy because the contestants who were very strong for the Congress have been switched to BJP. Then that move have also brought a resentment among all the people of Assam actually, and the scenario what you see right now is.
Dr. Chaudhary, Dr. Chaudhary, we can talk about the nitty-gritties, but I have seen that in the last 10 years, Sandeep, what has really worked is in the mobile plus Hindutva plus welfare, the welfare mechanism dominates. Now, I want you to break down, before I go to George and Nirmal, this 1,600 rupee which have been transferred by the Assam government to every household, targeted.
And mind you, this has always worked for the incumbent government. Almost
targeted campaign for women. It worked with Latki Behna, Ladli Behan scheme, Madhya Pradesh. It worked in Maharashtra. It has worked everywhere. Bihar it has worked. So I want your assessment on that. This targeted welfare scheme, which is cutting across caste, community, various other denominators.
Absolutely. Kartike, you look at the fact that the Congress was forced to, in their own manifesto, they have mentioned that if they come to power, they will also be giving 1,250 rupees and 50,000 rupees one-time grant to start businesses. All this is actually essentially, on the one hand, Congress has been criticizing the BJP government in Assam, saying that there is a lot of debt on per capita because of the borrowing that the Assam government is doing without adequate revenue generation, because of the borrowing that it is doing to pay for these schemes. But look, end of the day, people who are receiving money, they are very happy with it. As I mentioned earlier on, there is a scheme called Orunodoy, which means, literally, it means sunrise. In Assamese, it means, sunrise. So, under the Orunodoy scheme, different kinds of welfare schemes have been given. And that I completely agree with you that, to break it down, it has dominated the election. As you have brilliantly put it, it was Hindutva plus cash transfer. Then also the Himanta Biswa Sarma government tried to give a lot of employment as well. And by and large, these have been controversy free. People who have applied, they have got in the due process. So, and that is how they were focusing on the narrative. See, one reason why we see the chief minister losing his cool in recent times after that Pawan Khera press conference is because that quickly changed the narrative. See, whether it translates into vote or not, that I am not going to say. I can't predict. Whether these are genuine documents, again, I am not going to comment on that because that's a matter of investigation. It will be unfair to comment on this way or that way. But what has happened is that suddenly it has shifted the narrative. In the last 4 days, Kartike, from the 5th till today, people have been only talking. BJP has been talking, defending, trying to give, you heard even the national president in that interview saying that ये पासपोर्ट गेम क्या होगा, इसका नतीजा हम देखेंगे, लेकिन ये साफ हो जाएगा.
Absolutely.
So the fact that the national president also had to respond to these charges means that the Congress belatedly tried to shift the narrative, and the reason I would say they have done this is because I think deep down they know, and it's a fact, whether it's Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana, all these women-centric schemes have literally worked for the ruling party. I would say, Kartike, at some point, I for one, strongly believe that there is nothing wrong in welfare schemes. Because if you give to industrialists, then you say that these are fiscal stimulus. But when you give to common citizens, you call them SOPs. Why?
Absolutely.
They also need help, and I am all for it. But at the same time, we also have to actually raise this question whether this leaves a level playing field for all political parties. Clearly, the incumbent government has an advantage because you can promise the moon, but people on the ground, when they're receiving money, they are getting money in their bank accounts.
Okay.
then they believe that, let's not change this dispensation because we don't know. Yes, I mean, Congress has promised they will also continue, they will also do this, but we don't know whether they'll be able to form the government. Might as well continue with the current system. So I would say that these kind of schemes do tilt the scales in favor of the ruling party, not just in Assam, in every other state.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now let me shift this discussion to one issue which really interests me, and I'll start with George. If this election is lost by the left, then they will be out of power in India. They have never been part of power structure sharing regime in Delhi. They chose to stay out of it. They didn't let Mr. Basu become the Prime Minister post Rajiv Gandhi. They did not become part of Manmohan Singh's cabinet. It's part of history, CPM. Now, they are not in power in West Bengal, sir. They are not in power in Tripura. This is the state where democratically the left came to power in 1950s, which was unceremoniously dismissed by Nehru under Indira Gandhi's pressure. Correct? This state, they are in power for last 10 years. If they lose, then they will lose the state democratically in a democratic election. So my question is that in the larger perspective, where do you place the politics of the left if it loses Kerala? What happens to the left? Because left in itself has become a sort of a cuss word in the larger narrative, and I should be blunt when they say left Congress. The lefties have done this. Even within the narrative of the Congress, a lot of people say left has taken over the Congress. We have lost the middle ground. So left in itself, in terms of ideology, narrative, and positioning, has become very, very problematic. That reinvention is not happening. It's not like New Labour of Tony Blair. They reinvented themselves. That's how they came back to power. So, George, to you.
Karthikeya Sharma, that's the most pertinent question right now in India, even not just Kerala. This is the last bastion of Kerala left in India. They lost the West Bengal and Tripura completely. If this election, left loses, and there is a big chance for that. This may be the end of a major left power in India, because there is no other way. This is the last small area where they can say that they are in power. Even if they are not in power, after Pinarayi Vijayan, the party is in real trouble. There is no leader who can garner votes, who can muster things into right perspective of left, and they can put pressure on other parties in the national level, or even in the state level. This will be a real test for CPIM and left parties altogether in Kerala. That is the biggest challenge left is facing now. From 64 MPs in parliament, from now they are lost to just 2 in the Lok Sabha right now. And they can't think of losing Kerala. But there is a big chance. As my friend Nirmal said, I too see a clear edge for the UDF in Kerala. And this elections, left is trying their best in Kerala to regain, because there is a little chance for that, because there's 5% vote change or in the central Kerala and the southern part of Kerala towards left. And there is a big chance because Kerala Congress Mani group, which is very dominant in Kottayam, Idukki and Pathanamthitta districts, and in the high ranges of Kerala, across Kerala, there are some votes, at least 5,000, 2,000, 1,000 votes, they can change. They can change the whole scenario. That's why I said this is not a complete 100% sure bet for UDF or Congress in Kerala right now. There is a chance. There is a big chance for UDF and Congress. And people want a change. I don't think there is a tall leader for Congress. There is from V.D. Satheeshan, the opposition leader, Ramesh Chennithala, the former opposition leader, and K.C. Venugopal, the ACC. All three are eyeing for the chief ministership. There is no doubt about it. Because I know I am covering Congress for the last 36 years and I know what is exactly in between them. And in the other side, UDF, LDF, there is a clear tall leader. Whether you love him or hate him, like Narendra Modi. That is why people call him Mundudutta Modi. That is a Modi clad in the local traditional dhoti. Pinarayi Vijayan is known as the Mundudutta Modi in Malayalam. And this is not just because of their style of functioning, that there is nobody else. In the entire campaign in Kerala, there is only one leader for left, and one face is shown in from Kasaragod to Thiruvananthapuram. That is only Pinarayi Vijayan. This Pinarayi Vijayan is crossed 80, and even now he is the tall leader. There is no such leader in the Congress or in UDF. There is a confusion who will become the CM.
Okay.
And these
let me ask you this question: will K.C. Venugopal be able to fulfill his ambition this time?
All three have clear ambitions. K.C. Venugopal, Ramesh Chennithala, and V.D. Satish.
Yes.
No doubt about it. And nobody can predict right now.
No one can. Nirmal, can you make a wild guess? See, K.C. Venugopal, everyone knows. And the other two, they refuse to retire, They refuse to retire. Nirmal, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, I think it's hard even for Congress party members to make that prediction, which is why Congress has remained to be, I hate saying this, a laughing stock in the last 6 months or so leading up to the election, because they didn't know who the leader could be. Even today, if you ask us, or even the party members, they wouldn't know who the leader is. But as Sri George pointed out, all three of them are front runners. We don't know who it is going to be, but one thing's for sure, they have the edge. And one thing that I would like to add...
Nirmal, you say leaders, I'm not saying that I've covered Congress party for 36 years, but with my bit of understanding of the Congress party, it's not about leaders in plenty in state. Congress always had plentiful leaders in the state. I'll give you one classic example of Madhya Pradesh in 1980s. You had Motilal Vora, you had Suresh Pachauri, you had Arjun Singh, you had Mr. Shukla there, then you had Mr. Yadav also there, went on to become the Subhash Yadav, went on to become the Deputy Chief Minister. Then you had budding Digvijay Singh also there. I can just go on and go on. There were multiple leaders from the tribal community. But the ability of the Gandhis to manage the leadership was there. They would, make Motilal Vora governor, Arjun Singh would be sent to Punjab, someone else would be the chief minister for some time. It is this inability to rotate chief ministers and this whole idea that has come that we can rotate chief ministers as a contract has turned out to be really problematic. They did not do it in Kashmir. The alliance is intact. Omar Abdullah functioned for CM for 6 years. Now this rotation is not working. Rotation destroyed Rajasthan. Rotation broke Congress party into in Madhya Pradesh. Rotation led to lot of problem in Chhattisgarh. They didn't come back to power. Rotation is creating so much of problem in Karnataka. But there is no problem in Telangana. No one thinks about it. And it was so evident, in one of our functions when the Chief Minister of Telangana came and the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka came, the questions to the Deputy Chief Minister was about his ambition. And the questions to the Telangana CM was about the state. Because there is no number 2, number 3. There is nothing to ask about the Congress party. All you ask about him, his governance and the BJP. So I think that's the inability of the center to play with these leaders is really the biggest problem. People even forget P.V. Narasimha Rao was shunted out after doing land reforms in Andhra Pradesh. And he had to pay a price. As a chief minister, he was shunted out and sent to New Delhi as AICC General Secretary. So I think that is really plaguing the Congress, whether it is a result of lack of masterful, the political secretaries or the inability of the state leaders to see that this investment in Delhi is good, So let's not push them around, That's what I very strongly feel about the Congress label,
Yeah, that's true. From the grassroots level, that is true. But if you notice, in the last 6 months, I think the leadership has done a fairly good job because these three were not the only three people in the picture. There was K. Sudhakaran. They somehow managed to convince him not to even contest in the elections. Shashi Tharoor was also in the picture at some time. So I think they've managed it fairly well, although not perfectly as the left. But the problem with the left is this. They only have Pinarayi Vijayan. And as you rightly mentioned, if they lose this time, then you will see leaks within the party, issues within the party, because there is no clear leader. The only other clear leader that was about to come about was KK Shailaja, but then she was completely removed out of the roster last time. So there is no clear leader. That's one issue that is going to really affect LDF, even if they are in the opposition. The second thing is, I think, look, when I initially mentioned that it's a shame that they, if they go on to win, it'll be a shame. It's not that my emotions took the better of me. I believe in democracy. I'm a person who voted for the left in 2016. But I think, as the old adage goes, democracy dies when the power stops listening and starts controlling. I think that's what's going wrong with the left today, because they have stopped listening. Asha workers, they spoke up about their discrepancies and troubles. They didn't listen. Shabrimala devotees spoke up. They didn't listen. The poor and the downtrodden, who apparently are the people that the left actually stood for, spoke up, but they didn't listen. So this is where I oppose the left now, because for the last 5 years or so, they've absolutely ignored the needs of the poor and the downtrodden, the people who've been sidelined, the underprivileged, and those were actually the people that the left party was meant for, that was built for. So I think that's where they've missed out. And coming to BJP, I know people are talking about BJP probably getting 5 or 6 seats. I still think it's an early stage to predict. I would say maybe 2 to 3 seats at best. The one thing that really must have affected their chances is 2025 Christmas season, where, across the country, there were waves against Christmas being celebrated, against malls, decorating with Christmas items, and even street vendors were asked to leave. Christmas carols were not allowed to recite. So all of these things may have affected, because Kerala, as you know, has a large Christian population. And one thing that could affect the chances of both the left and the right meaning UDF in Kerala, is that these votes that may return back from BJP, there were Christian votes in the Lok Sabha elections that went to the BJP, but after 2025 Christmas, and also because of FCRA, I think there are people who will move out of BJP, and it is interesting to see where they will go to, who they will cast their vote to. Will it be UDF or LDF? And that will also play a part. And here's the thing, although I say UDF has an edge, as Sri George rightly pointed out, it's usually only a 5 to 6% difference, and that's not a lot of votes. So BJP is going to be a crucial player, unlike the last time. Although they may not win the election, maybe 2 or 3 seats, but they will decide who could win in certain constituencies.
Okay, it's time for a short break, but then I'm going to go to both Brijesh and Bhukan and Prasanajit. Does food politics really matter? Because I've seen Rahul Gandhi with a fish in Kerala, BJP campaigning with a fish in West Bengal. Mohan Bhagwat making a statement. Does this really make a difference in local politics? If it wouldn't have made a big difference, then the photograph which Rahul Gandhi had with the fish, or the BJP leaders carrying fish in West Bengal, wouldn't have happened. But after a short break.
Walk down Cool Street.
When you're hot, we'll cool you down on Cool Street. On Cool Street. On Cool Street.
Ooh, I'm on cool. Chill your dill. I'm on cool. Chill your dill.
I'm on cool. Chill your dill. The new Skoda Kushaq. Easy to love. Skoda.
In Kerala, politics turns tense yet again.
Kadalvindi Makalakka Namaskaram.
Can fate and Sabrimala torpedo politics? Will corruption allegations decide the mandate?
LDF leadership is corrupt. BJP and LDF are joined together.
From the ground, the questions that matter. The voices that shape the vote. India votes. Only on News9.
So welcome back to India Votes, and we are discussing what's going to happen in Kerala, Puducherry, and Assam. The voting is taking place. It's an important election. It's important in context of the way power is going to function between BJP and state parties. If BJP tends to gain, it means that Bharatiya Janata Party has been able to shift the narrative from the result of 2024, where they got relegated to 240 seats. But does food matter, Vijesh?
I think, more than food, symbolism matters. And the fact of the matter is that, when BJP was forced to, send a couple of candidates going and seeking votes with a fish in their hand. The reason why this was done is that because Trinamool Congress has launched a campaign against BJP saying that, if they come to power, they will do away with, with things which are eternal and intrinsic to Bengali culture. And fish is one of them. And they said that, if BJP comes to power, then you won't find fish in your menu. You won't find fish occupy the same kind of pride of place as it is in during the course of TMC or left. So this is the reason why, at many places, these politicians, especially BJP in West Bengal, was forced to do so, because they felt that if they allow this kind of narrative to gain currency, then it's going to become very, very problematic for them. And, as I would just like to expand a bit more on what Abraham was saying, that, the Christian part, the fact is that in Kerala, there's a massive Christian outreach. But the biggest problem for the Bharatiya Janata Party is, other than Kerala, there's a different kind of outreach. When you are making an outreach to Christians in Kerala, saying that you're meeting their leaders and all, in other parts, which is Chhattisgarh, in other states which are governed by the BJP, all those nuns who are there, they are routinely being arrested and brought to police stations and charged with conversion and all. And it is left to Home Minister Amit Shah to make calls to those particular states and make sure that they are treated nicely, and if there is nothing wrong, then they are left immediately. But this leaves a very bad impression and bad optics as far as the outreach is concerned.
Prasanajit, food matters? Unmute yourself.
Hilsa is our national symbol. You see, we offer Hilsa to Saraswati, we offer Hilsa to Durga, and in Bengal they are trying to ban Hilsa. They are trying to ban all our popular fishes, and this will not be tolerated by any Bengali
How
whatsoever.
can someone ban popular fishes, Prasanajit? Come on, how can you ban fishes?
Let me say, how can they? They have created vandalism in Delhi fish market. They have stopped selling fish in Gujarat. They have stopped selling fish in Madhya Pradesh. All the BJP ruled state have tried to ban fish, beef, all kinds of meat that we Bengalis consume. And therefore it is going to be a big issue against Bengalis, against BJP, because they are trying to change our food habit and trying to make us herbivores instead of being meat-eating people.
Okay,
this violates our cultural practices completely.
Is food an issue in Assam?
Certainly, food is also an issue in Assam. Because you see, the way Hemanta Biswa Sharma has changed himself and said you will go and eat beef inside your house actually says a lot. Because who eats beef in Assam? The tribals, the ethnic groups, not just Muslims. So beef eating becomes a major issue, and ironically, some people also calls it a beef Janata Party, if you like. So this has become a major issue concerning the food habits, the culture, the dress, other cultural practices. Karenghor has been washed with milk, Ahom Karenghor. And this is something that is not tolerated by Ahoms. So ethnic life world of Assam has been invaded by some of these Hindutva practices, and these are questioned and challenged, because Assam is a land of Sankardev and Ajahn Peer. Both have to be taken together. Hemanta Biswa Sharma says Ajahn Peer is curtailed out of Assam. Will that be tolerated by even Ahom people? It will not be. So these cultural issues have created a counter wave in Assam at this moment, electorally speaking, and this is translating into votes as well. We can see an extra voting edge in Assam compared to last time. So there is going to be crossover of the last year's voting records as well in Assam. And this shows a kind of an anti-incumbency now gaining ground in Assam. Yeah.
Okay. Now this discussion on the food will continue, but it's time for a short break. Then I'm going to go to Sandeep, whether food has really become an issue or it's just a side issue in our elections. But after a short break.
Others see a teenage tantrum. I see you standing your ground. The world sees stubbornness. I see a soft, soft heart. I see you, my daughter, 16 and already owning your story. And I couldn't be more proud. For you, only natural diamonds.
Walk down Cool Street. When you're hot, we'll cool you down on Cool Street. On Cool Street. On Cool Street. Ooh, I'm on cool. Chill your dill. I'm on cool. Chill your dill. I'm on cool. Chill your dill.
The new Skoda Kushaq. Easy to love. Skoda.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9. English news as it should be.
More than 6.1 crore voters across Assam, Kerala and Puducherry cast vote in a single-phase assembly elections. Robert Neela welcomes voters arriving at a polling booth in Puducherry as the voters of the Union Territory cast votes across 30 seats. Political big step out on polling day. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, Congress leader K.C. Venugopal and BJP leader Rajiv Chandrasekhar cast their votes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi urges consensus on Women Reservation Bill, says reservation for women in legislative bodies is the need of the hour to make Indian democracy even more vibrant and participative. US President Donald Trump threatens Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz immediately, says shooting will start again if Iran does not comply with agreement. Let me straight away go to Sandeep Pukan. Sandeep, is food an issue, or it's just an, after issue, post thought, something which runs with the central narrative?
No, it is an issue. I wouldn't say that what Professor Biswas just said, that, there is no fear that BJP would stop eating fish for Assamese, the staple, or any other.
No, I was about to Google because he said sari fish disappear ho gayi, and I was thinking, kahan gayi ye sab phir?
No, there is no such, there is no fear. I don't think Assamese are going to tolerate if any political party, for that matter, is going to interfere with their food habits. But yes, eating of beef has become an issue. Specifically, I think Sujata Kunki Chaudhary, the Assam Janata Party Parishad candidate from Guwahati Central. So she's a very young 27-year-old girl, educated in London, whereas her opponent, the BJP candidate, is someone called Mr. Vijay Gupta. He's a Hindi-speaking person. Of course, his roots are in Assam. Their family has been in Assam since 1925. So there is an element of outsider-insider debate in this constituency. It's a very key constituency. And that's when this food issue came up, because no less than the Chief Minister himself said that there were photographs on Instagram posted by Kunki Chaudhary's parents eating beef, and it became a talking point. But eventually he, of course, said that, well, there are people of Muslim community. Also, as Professor Biswas said, tribals in the Northeast, they eat buffalo and beef. So, then the Chief Minister retracted his statement somewhat to say that earlier he was belligerent and he said that, I will not allow something which is against Sanatan Dharam to be so displayed and to be exhibited and to be celebrated. But eventually he said that if people have to eat, they will have to eat in the four walls of their home. But as far as whether there is a fear lurking that if BJP were to come to power, they will force one way of eating over the other, no, there is no such fear. BJP has already been in power for 10 years. And they haven't done anything that has changed food habits of the local indigenous Assamese.
Okay, absolutely. Dr. Chaudhary?
We have pictures of our CM, Dr. Hemanta Biswa Sharma, with fish in his hand during the Magh Bihu and all. So I don't think at present this is an issue. Yes, with beef, it is always an issue.
With beef, it's always an issue. But George, BJP has been pretty much focused on the Christian vote. How does it handle this, this issue? They had been very successful in Goa. They were able to manage contradiction. Consecutively, they have been in power in Goa. But in Kerala, is it like Goa or different from Goa?
Kerala will be definitely different from Goa or any northeastern state.
Because Goa, they handled it.
Because
BJP did handle it.
The Christian outreach in Kerala was mostly superficial, giving cakes, going to meet the bishops, going to the homes and distributing cakes. Other than this, the major issues are not even tackled because now the FCRA issue, the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, there are certain provisions which are definitely targeting the Christian community, and most of the major dioceses in Kerala are facing it because their FCRA registration is put on hold, not just denied, but some are denied also. And this will be a major issue. All the other issues like the attack on Christian communities across India, even in Kerala, this is a major issue. And the basic demands are not met by the BJP in Kerala, like an aims, which is already in most of the states, but Kerala is denied an aims, and Kerala was demanding a high-speed railway, which is not also sanctioned, and the prices of rubber and others. These are the issues which are directly, targeting or directly hitting the Christian population. Therefore, I don't think there will be a major shift of Christian votes. There was a real change because people were fed up with CPM and Congress, and people want a change. That doesn't mean that people will go and vote for BJP right now.
But George, if you look at 2024 results, BJP was number one in multiple constituencies, 3 constituencies in Thiruvananthapuram, Kazakuttam, Neemam, Attingal, Katakakada, Manalur, Ollur, Thrissur, Nattika. Maybe my pronunciation is wrong. More than 13 assembly segments, they were number one.
You are very correct. But I don't think this will be the same in this assembly elections. It can be 0 to 3 maximum. I don't think BJP will get, NDA will get more than 3 seats in Kerala. Even 3 is difficult, it seems. Because in Neemam there is a big chance. In Vatiurkav there is a chance. In Palakkad there was a chance, but yesterday's controversy of distributing money among voters, that also will affect them. And some other constituencies. I don't think Thrissur also will be a major gainer for BJP in these elections, because at the ground, things will change. Kerala voters are always, they change their voting pattern according to the present situation. Even the issues which are there in the last minute, anything, even the FCRA issue was discussed at the bottom level. Things will, and everybody in Kerala is very aware, politically aware. They read newspapers, they go and watch television, they know what's happening exactly across India. And that is why I don't think BJP can get more seats this time.
Or is it because, Nirmal, that the third pole politics for BJP is not working in Tamil Nadu and Kerala? Because, after pushing Annamalai, they had to, settle with the terms of ADMK. Annamalai, I don't know, is in Bondukes, No one is talking about Annamalai. And even in Kerala, they didn't have any big party to piggyback on, So, either you have left or the Congress. Is that the absence where, for years they could have created the way they did it in Haryana? They created a comfortable constituency for themselves. They overtook all these socialist parties. It has happened in all the other states. They were the second party in 1960s and 70s for all the Samajwadi parties, took them on in 1980s. It's that absence of that route which is stopping that growth, specifically in Tamil Nadu and Kerala.
Yes.
Is that question to me?
Oh, it's a question to Nirmal. You can also take that question later. Nirmal, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, so particularly in Kerala, if you look at the history of Kerala, it has been bipolar. The politics has been bipolar. It's either the UDF or the LDF. So there is no real chance for BJP to get a ground or get in terms with another party. They could do that with smaller parties, as they've done with the 2020 party. They may gain a few additional votes in Ernakulam as a result of that. But other than that, they don't have a chance. I mean, nobody stands for their ideology, and that could really damage the other party as well, as we saw in Tamil Nadu with the AIDMK. It only weakened their position. Now, when it comes to food, I'd love to talk about it because I had a really early breakfast today. But anyway, so when you talk about food, I think beef has been an issue that has been constantly brought up in Kerala. It is alive because every now and again, organically, there is a new controversy relating to beef. In 2025 August, in Canara Bank, in one of the branches of Canara Bank here, a regional manager from the north came and asked all the employees to stop eating beef and have vegetarian food instead. You know what they did? They went out and had a beef fest in front of the bank. So that controversy was kept alive. In a movie called Hal, which is a Malayalam movie released a couple of years earlier, there was a scene where a bunch of friends were eating beef biryani. And that scene was censored. Again, the controversy blew up and people started talking about it, affected the BJP. Kerala story, something that they released a few months before the elections, where there is a particular scene where people are seen pushing beef down the throat of a lady. And that has also hit them backfired actually. So, anything related to food that the BJP has been trying to, trying to get into has actually failed because it has often backfired. But when it comes to Christian politics, as Sri George rightly pointed out, there are multiple factors. Protecting their rights is one, FCRA is another, because that could even affect their chances in Pala. Because in Pala, Sean George, the son of PC George, apparently has some advantage this time because parts of his father's constituency are now added to Pala constituency, so he has a chance. But then FCRA is a challenge for BJP. They don't have an answer for that when it comes to debates. Also, the prices of rubber. And so all of these factors combined makes it weak, makes BJP's chances weaker. Also, the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, Christmas-related issues really took them to a backseat, because until then, if you look at the voting patterns, as you rightly mentioned, the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, there were many Christian votes, especially in parts of central Kerala, where they usually don't get a lot of votes, Christian votes, Kottayam, Pathanamthitta, Idukki, high range like Wayanad. So they could have gained momentum if they had continued with the same vigor and reduced, these divisional, conversations. And that's what they did in Trivandrum, and they're gaining the fruits of that. Because in Trivandrum, their whole idea, after Rajiv Chandrasekhar took on, he said he was only talking about development. It was mostly development over division, and that really helped them. But this time, Christian votes, there will be a shift, but it will be a negative shift, unfortunately, for the BJP.
BJP tried its best. Do you think that FCRA is the only reason, or it's just that they are an unconvincing alternative when it comes to state?
Well, I think FCRA is a big issue, but they're also, when they say that their outreach to Christian also sounds hollow, when you look at the other states governed by the BJP. that is in complete contrast to what they promise in Kerala and what actually happens. As Nirmal was mentioning about, what happens during Christmas carols, it was taken down, all the decorations were taken down, people who were going to, sing the carols were stopped from doing it. And in various states like, Chhattisgarh and all of these nuns routinely face harassment. So, what you're promising in Kerala is an absolute contrast with what is happening in the rest of the country, especially in the BJP governed state. So I think this dichotomy is something which is not sounding very, very convincing to the voters of Kerala, especially the Christians of the Kerala. And BJP, surprisingly, if you ask me, BJP is a political party, especially after 2014. They're one party who is not afraid to take decisions, to do experiments in politics. The biggest example was Manohar Lal Khattar in Haryana. He comes from a community or caste which has not a big presence in the state of Haryana, which is a Jat dominated. Yet it worked out wonderfully for them. They have now scored a hat-trick in Haryana. But if you compare that to Bihar, they have never taken that audacious, jump, the leap of faith in Tamil Nadu. You get Anna Malai, you project him as pride of the place. He's there sitting next to Prime Minister, and even when EPS, OPS went to meet the Home Minister, he was sitting there. Thereby, they tried to show him as, he is the BJP face, BJP leader in Tamil Nadu. But when, after the 2024 election, they dumped him like anything. And now, he's relegated to the bottom of pyramid as far as BJP is concerned. So, I honestly don't understand why, they cannot persist with one leader, whether he delivers result in 1 year or it takes him 4 to 5 years. The lack of persistence, lack of consistency in Kerala and in Tamil Nadu is really baffling.
Okay, let me give you all a visual break. We have seen chief ministers traveling in helicopters, chief minister traveling in cars. Let me show you a politician riding a bicycle going to the booth to vote. Yes, I'm talking about none other than Rangaswamy. He's an old timer. He's driving the bike. He's in Puducherry, and now the guy is going to the polling booth. I would say Ranga was a big loss to the Congress party. He was a big loss to the Congress party. And look at him. The guy's on a motorcycle.
Such a nice visual break.
It's such a nice visual, But, sometimes, in India, I feel is an, age-loving society. Age doesn't matter. We are not like Americans, the Brits, Anglo-Saxons, 40 years and you need to peak when you're 40. Isn't that, Prasannaji? In India, politicians peak at 70s, late 60s. It's not like
50s. You are a young leader.
Late 60s. We are not America and UK. We need to be in 40s. You peak in 70s. Morarji Desai 89, Vajpayee 70s, Dr. Manmohan Singh. Modi is peaking in 70s.
Now you see, somebody promised that after 75 politicians should retire. Did somebody keep that promise? That tells you the story. People who don't promise, they still have a right. Jyoti Basu went up to 82, 83. Vajpayee ji also was quite elderly. And Gandhi ji also was quite elderly.
Former Chief Minister of Kerala who called Rahul Gandhi a Amul baby. How can you forget him?
As an Amul baby was 40 plus.
Amul baby
but he was out. He was not in power that time when he commented on Rahul Gandhi.
He did comment on Rahul Gandhi. So I mean to say that India is an age-loving society. It doesn't make a difference, We don't need to find our...
This goes for stark contrast to, what we are used to seeing, chief ministers behind a veil of heavy security, all the red lights and all hooters blaring and going on, is a symbol of authority and power. This comes across as, somebody who's very humble. I mean, of course, politicians do this for optics and for good visuals. But still, I mean, these are visuals which are very nice visuals to look at, I would say, rather than those hooter blaring.
George, what's your take on Puducherry?
Puducherry, it seems to be, the present government will continue.
Okay.
But Congress is making a real fight there in Puducherry. But Congress lost its leaders and many of their MLAs to BJP and other parties. Basically, this is, Congress leadership should know how to tackle their own leaders, how to bring their leaders together, whatever be the issues. But they are one way they are happy in Kerala because no major leader left Congress in spite of the differences, including Shashi Tharoor, always stick to the party leadership and party line. Whether they make some statements, they come back to the fold, but that doesn't happen in other states. In Karnataka also they were able to. But in Puducherry, it seems Congress lost its ground by themselves. They should have taken these leaders into confidence and they should know that this will happen. Otherwise, this party, if the leaders leave, the voters also will leave. Not like any other party. There is no strong party organization set up in some states like Puducherry, because these are a very small state. Things can change. And I want to just add one or two sentences on that food issue, because they tried to, BJP tried to bring in these food issues in Kerala also, but they were completely denied, and people in Kerala want every kind of food, including beef. Nobody can, even as Nirmal rightly said, even the Kerala story failed, the Kerala story 2 failed, whatever be, not even, there are not even 10 or a dozen movie goers there in some theaters. It was almost empty. This is because Kerala thinks differently like our North Indian states. Because I'm working in Delhi for the last 25 years, but I know the difference in Kerala. Right now I'm sitting in Kerala because I came just for voting. I don't want my vote. I want my vote to be done in Kerala only, because that's why I cancelled my vote in Delhi. Because we love our own state more than anything else. We are more national people. We love our country, but that doesn't mean that we will lose our special character of Kerala. All Malayalis are like that. Whether they are in America, whether they are in Gulf, whether they are in Delhi or Chennai or Calcutta, they always keep their Kerala traditions. And Kerala is so secular, and they don't agree with any kind of division on food, literature, or even on dress or attires.
Okay.
This is correct.
Okay, Prasenjit, can we frame this election from a national perspective? Is there a common chord?
From the national perspective, you see Congress has consolidated its alliances. And the regional alliances of Congress has expanded in the case of Assam. It has taken some of the regional forces into its fold. Similarly, Congress is also trying.
Okay. I think, Prasenjit, there's a bit of a problem in your line. Let me go to Dr. Sujata Chaudhary. Dr. Chaudhary, my question is very specific to Northeast to you. How do you see Congress in Northeast? Do you think that they can revive there? Because if you look at other states, in past 10, 15 years, the track record post 2015 has not been very impressive. Can you please unmute yourself?
So Congress, they have alliance with different the regional parties, and as such, they have made a strong pull in. If we talk about Guwahati, proper Guwahati, like the Kamrup and everything, like we have Congress along with the Raijor Dal, and we have the Jatiyawadi Porishad, and all the alliance which are strongly anti-BJP. And they have taken agendas, which BJPs have not agendas for the indigenous people. Actually, what they feel is that there's a sheer negligence in the part of the BJP for the people of Assam, and that is one thing. The Congress government with its alliance is moving ahead. And now, apart from this thing, if you come to the South Assam, in Kachar, if you say, BJP is having a very strong, Congress is also having a strong hold because of the contestants out there, because the popularity of the contestants there. But when it comes to as a whole, if you talk about as a whole, the entire Assam, I think BJP, with all the it is in an advantageous position. It is in an advantageous position.
But why has BJP been able to entrench itself so much in Northeast so quickly?
Because of the development issues. Because of the massive developments, because of the roads, the tunnels, the rail connectivities and rivers, inland rivers, and so many things, aviations. So these are the things which in the previous government, there was a lack of all these things. Connectivity was an issue with major parts of Assam. So many trains have been introduced. Then we have inland water transport. There are many avenues have been opened up in these things also. Then again, the roads and all, the flyovers and tunnels. So there was a massive infrastructure development everywhere. So this is one thing.
So basically, Brijesh, the Northeast Connect of the Prime Minister has worked.
Oh, it has. And more than that, I think we should also not forget the kind of work RSS has been doing there in, few northeastern states. Tripura was not 100% BJP. It was majorly RSS in the kind of work which has been going on. And not to forget, the massive anti-incumbency which was there. So it worked for them. And, ever since...
okay, I just need to stop you for a minute. Let's go across to Kamakhya Temple. My colleague Kumar Kundan is there. My colleague Kumar Kundan is there. I think Hemanta Biswa Sarma is there. Kundan, Hemanta Biswa Sarma ji वहाँ पहुँच गए हैं क्या? मंदिर में? मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, he has already reached, and he has right now he is in Garbhagriha of Kamakhya auspicious Mandir, and he is associated. Yes, Kartikeya, I am getting your voice.
पहुँच गए हेमंत बिस्वा शर्मा?
Are you getting my voice?
हाँ, हेमंत बिस्वा शर्मा पहुँच गए?
Yes, Hemanta Biswa Sarma is inside the temple. He is along with his family members, wife and son and daughter. And after this holy puja, he'll go to Julak Badi place, another temple. And after that particular temple, he will cast his vote in his own constituency. So 10 to 15 minutes before he reached Mandir premises, and he is right now performing puja and everything. Kartikeya.
Achha, so what will be the program of the CM today apart from visiting temples, and what's your assessment of Assam? मतलब मोटी बात क्या है? कौन जीत रहा है?
Probably after casting his vote, he'll roam around his own constituency, and between then he'll also go to party office. There is a war room, BJP war room, from where he'll look after all the constituencies of the Assams. And as far as Assam political scenario is concerned, Hemanta Biswa Sarma is very much confident about his victory. And day before yesterday we met, and he said that by the developmental work and probably with the help of all the sectors of the society, I am going to win the election. And the main developmental issue is the only issue which we are going to form the government. So he is very much confident about the making government. But at the same time, he said that I am surprised that he said that probably will cross the 3-digit limit. I mean, he is such a confident person. He said that probably will cross the 100 marks. So this is the his scenario. I mean, every politician is claiming that he is winning the election. But what exactly happened, it will come on 4th May. But at the same time, Kartikeya, he is coming in any moment because the security person is coming outside. So probably he'll talk to us, and let's hope and let's wait what exactly he'll say to us. Kartikeya.
But what's your assessment, Kundan? Who is winning? You think that Hemanta Biswa Sarma is coming back to power, or the election is very close?
I don't think the way he is campaigning, probably Kartikeya, he believes that he is going to win the election with thumping margin. And the main reason behind the opposition is very weak according to him. So, and as far as this election is concerned, Arunodaya scheme is very much helpful for women, and he has already distributed money through this scheme. So he is basically confident that all the women across the society and across the whole Assam, they will come forward for vote for him. So he is basically very much confident about this issue. Apart from this issue, he said that lots of developmental work done by the government, like a new Guwahati and Guwahati adjoining bridge, apart from Dhobri bridge. So he said that rail project, there are lots of projects that's still going on, and people are more confident that this government will help him, according to him. So he believes that he will make the government. But at the same time, if we are talking about opposition, Mr. Gogoi is also very much confident. He said that we are not exactly getting as far as Zubin Garg is concerned, we are not getting any kind of nyay. He used the word that it is still pending, and the people of Assam looking for nyay as far as Zubin Garg's case is concerned. Apart from that particular case, they are claiming that the government is very much corrupt. So corruption is another issue as far as opposition is concerned. But still, in between the people of Assam who has to decide to whom vote him, and probably as far as first 2 hours is concerned, the voting percentage is more than 17. So it's almost rainy season. I mean, drizzling happening inside the Guwahati. So apart from this poor weather condition, if the people are coming for the vote, so it's good for the, as far as Election Commission of India is concerned. But still, we are waiting for the total vote percentage, and we are voting for the right now.
Thank you, Kundan. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So my colleague Kumar Kundan, I'd like to thank all my panelists for joining me, because our coverage for the election is going to continue. Kerala, Puducherry and Assam goes to vote today. In the another round, West Bengal and Tamil Nadu will go for hustings, but that's for some other date. But right now it's time for a short break. I'll be back with all my reporters all across the country.
Others see a teenage tantrum. I see you standing your ground. The world sees stubbornness. I see a soft heart. I see you, my daughter, 16 and already owning your story. And I couldn't be more proud. For you, only natural diamonds.
खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया
Real power doesn't shout. It empowers. It leads by example. It walks the talk. And let actions speak the truth. Real power shines through you.
The new Skoda Kushaq. Easy to love. Skoda.
The LPG shortage is now being felt across several cities in India. Our reporters travel across the country to bring you the ground reality.
It's impacting your and my kitchen.
Gas crisis hits kitchen fires. Restaurants and small businesses shutting down.
Very difficult because everything runs on LPG.
Supply shortage, hoarding or panic buying.
कहाँ भी कोई भी 3000 दे तुरंत सिलेंडर मिलेगा.
What's the government doing to control the crisis?
So the question is whether India is prepared.
News9 ground reports.
Growing uncertainty over the availability of LPG in the national capital.
We are here at the ground. News9 will be tracking the problems of the people.
But the people that we spoke to on ground have a different story to tell.
Will be continuous coverage.
Continuous coverage on News9 in your interest.
Ahead of 2026 West Bengal Assembly election, polarization in West Bengal sharpens.
टीएमसी सरकार के जाने का काउंटडाउन शुरू हो चुका है.
There are three prime issues: citizenship, border, identity. Is it the Nirmam Sarkar versus May J. Babu?
যতই করো হামলা জিতবে কিন্তু বাংলা
Who will retain the throne in West Bengal? Can West Bengal look beyond the muddy water of violent politics?
From the ground, the questions that matter. The voices that shape the vote. India votes. Only on News9.
What you saw me on the field and off the field is like chalk and cheese.
No guts, no glory, no pain, no gain.
My tendency is to go for magic, not for perfection.
I never give up. I like to win.
Just me being here, it's a statement.
When chips are down, the whole team could have looked up to you, said, Dada is still there.
Every time, whether I scored 100 or a Sachin scored 100 or a Rahul scored 100, the scoreboard said India won.
Let the kids know and the families know that one of the best ways to get a good education, go to a good school and a good college anywhere in the world is if you play a sport well.
There is a quality about me, which is why perhaps people feel I'm a perfectionist, because I don't get tired easily.
In Germany, the biggest newspaper was written on the first page, "This is a finishing from Lothar Matthäus' career," and this was motivating me.
I was literally on my phone at home and they're like, oh, we have the results. We suggest that you remove your breast. And I'm like, wait, what?
In Tamil Nadu, the battle over language returns.
ஒரே மொழி பேசுகிறோம், ஒரே எதிர்காலத்தை நோக்கி நடக்கிறோம்.
Election about identity, loyalty.
Bye bye Stalin.
Dravida model versus double engine की सरकार.
बीजेपी एनडीए की डबल इंजन सरकार बनना तय है.
The stakes are high.
From the ground, the questions that matter. The voices that shape the vote. India votes. Only on News9.
The LPG shortage is now being felt across several cities in India. Our reporters travel across the country to bring you the ground reality.
It's impacting your and my kitchen.
Gas crisis hits kitchen fires. Restaurants and small businesses shutting down.
Very difficult because everything runs on LPG.
Supply shortage, hoarding or panic buying.
कहाँ भी कोई भी 3000 दे तुरंत सिलेंडर मिलेगा.
What's the government doing to control the crisis?
So the question is whether India is prepared.
News9 ground reports.
Growing uncertainty over the availability of LPG in the national capital.
We are here at the ground. News9 will be tracking the problems of the people.
But the people that we spoke to on ground have a different story to tell.
Will be continuous coverage.
Continuous coverage on News9 in your interest.
In Assam, the debate over infiltration is back.
এইটোৱে হৈছে বিজেপিৰ সংকল্প, এয়াই হৈছে বিজেপিৰ প্ৰতিজ্ঞা.
Will NRC settle the question of identity?
दोनों चाहते हैं कि डराकर धमकाकर इस देश की जनता पर राज करें.
Or will the fight over borders will shape this election?
From the ground, the questions that matter. The voices that shape the vote. India votes. Only on News9.
What you saw me on the field and off the field is like chalk and cheese.
No guts, no glory, no pain, no gain.
My tendency is to go for magic, not for perfection.
I never give up. I like to win.
Just me being here, it's a statement.
When chips are down, the whole team could have looked up to you, said, Dada is still there.
Every time, whether I scored 100 or a Sachin scored 100 or a Rahul scored 100, the scoreboard said India won.
Let the kids know and the families know that one of the best ways to get a good education, go to a good school and a good college anywhere in the world is if you play a sport well.
There is a quality about me, which is why perhaps people feel I'm a perfectionist, because I don't get tired easily.
In Germany, the biggest newspaper was written on the first page, "This is a finishing from Lothar Matthäus' career," and this was motivating me.
I was literally on my phone at home and they're like, oh, we have the results. We suggest that you remove your breast. And I'm like, wait, what?
Welcome back to our rolling coverage on the elections that are taking place in Kerala, Puducherry and Assam. Now, it's an important day because Kerala can make history if left gets a third term. It's very important for the Congress. if they come back because they have lost 10 years. And if Kerala Congress wins, then BJP is out of power in all the states. Puducherry, it's also very important, small states, but then just tell you whether Congress party has enough of itself to take back states, because once it loses, it can end up losing states for multiple years, multiple tenures. For example, Congress continues to lose Gujarat. So that's something problematic for the Congress party. It needs to get back in an alternative way. And Assam, it will be out of power for 15 years. And that will prove to be a big challenge. And Sandeep Pukan joins me, Deputy Editor Hindu. Thank you, Sandeep. Thoya continues to be with me. Gautam continues to be with me. Vijesh continues to be with me. And I'll be joined by Vajji from Bangalore. But let me straight away go to Sandeep. Sandeep, let's talk about this election from a national perspective, because BJP turns every election into sort of a contest. So nationally speaking, if all these political parties opposed to BJP do well, will it have any bearing in Delhi?
Yes, of course. I mean, it will have a bearing in Delhi for both parties. But look, from the perspective of the Congress, their best case scenario is Kerala, right? They are a marginal player or a non-player in West Bengal. They are a junior ally in Tamil Nadu. But the other, state where they would be hoping to sort of buck the trend and eventually come to power would be my home state, Assam. As you rightly said, if they were to lose this election, then they would be out of power for 15 years. Already the organization, apart from Kerala, the other state where the Congress organization used to be extremely strong was Assam. That is no longer the case. So they would want a revival there. But look at it this way. If they lose Assam and if, they don't perform very well, then in that case, there's nothing much to talk about in terms of the party's national revival. On the other hand, if BJP were to win win only Assam and lose in Bengal, they don't have a chance in Tamil Nadu. It doesn't look like that the AIDMK is doing very well. They are certainly not going to come to power in Kerala. So Puducherry is another state where, their NR Congress, their ally, part of the NDA. So if the BJP manages to win only one state or one state and Puducherry, then in that case, the opposition can say that, look, we scored 3-2 or 4-1. And they will try and put pressure on the Congress, on the BJP, on the ruling party. So it will have national implications both ways. See, because it gives you a momentum. If you win 2 or 3 states, the ruling party, but of course the prize catch would be Bengal if they can. If that happens, then the entire equation changes, Karthike.
Okay. Prize catch.
Then, the biggest prize, I would say, in all of this for the BJP is Bengal. And that's why, the party has gone out on a limb to win the election. And so is the Trinamool Congress. It's fighting with its back to the wall, but it's trying very hard. And that's the prize catch for both sides.
Vijesh, prize catches West Bengal?
Yeah, goes without
They have given up on Tamil Nadu and Kerala?
Goes without saying. See, they're not much of a player in both Tamil Nadu and Kerala. They know that. Like a party, they're trying their level best to score, more, get more seats and increase the voting percentage so they stay relevant and to fight for another day. I think there are only 2 states which matter that way for BJP. A, winning Assam by a big margin, because if they're able to scrape through, that is also one narrative which will not go down well in the center and also in the state, because Himanta Biswa Sarma is also projected himself as a larger than life image, and also the fact that he's seen as someone within the BJP pantheon that he's one of the few chief ministers who could be in the reckoning, the next gen as far as the race of prime minister, next candidate, prime ministerial candidate is concerned. West Bengal is the most important state. The reason why is that BJP has been trying their level best to win the state of West Bengal at any cost.
Okay.
The Home Minister has parked himself for 15 days in the state of West Bengal, and this gives you an idea of how important the state is for the BJP.
Vaji, I have a question for you in context of Kerala. You know, if you look at the narrative, last year it was all about that there were difference of opinion between the Christian and the Muslim communities. Both in the social and the cultural realm. So has that been reconciled? If there is a difference, who benefits from it? And we have spoken about the Christian constituency. Where are Muslims going to vote in Kerala?
Well, traditionally, if we see, Muslims have been with the UDF and the IUML, and that is where their reach has always been there. But this time around, you are seeing a few of them moving towards the left also because of the governance that they've seen in the last few years with regards to how the COVID situation was handled. And during the Wayanad landslide, we had seen the entire Malappuram region, which is a part of a very strong Muslim belt, saw a great presence of the left community coming together, helping them out. So that is something that also resonates with them. But then if you see the overall way in which the Muslims will vote for, they have always been a strong supporter of the UDF, and though they might, you might see a few of them defecting towards the LDF, but most of them will be with the UDF, unlike the Christians who this time around have seen some hope within the BJP because of issues like love jihad and other things that the BJP has pushed forward, with the Prime Minister himself coming and meeting strong BJP, strong Christian leaders. So you might see a little bit of shift from the Christian community towards the BJP, but that also will not be significant enough for them to dent the vote bank of both these parties. So ideally speaking, the Christians and the Muslims are still with the UDF, with a few of them in the Christian community siding with the BJP, and a few within the Muslim community siding with the LDF.
Very quickly to Thoya. Thoya, I asked you, who has the lead. You said that right now Congress is trying its best. So I reframe the question to you. What is stopping Congress reinvention in Puducherry?
Well, Karthikeya, for the past few months now, that during the selection of the candidates also, they took a lot of time, because the internal party issues were quite a lot, because the people inside the party, they themselves had a lot of issues. Not only that, when we talk about the DMK and Congress, that alliance had a lot of issues going on in Puducherry. Not only in Puducherry, when we talk about Tamil Nadu also, they had several issues, because let me point out one thing. In Tamil Nadu, where the Congress asked the DMK government a share in power, but in Puducherry, the Congress and DMK, they are having several internal party issues. They are fighting among themselves, and that is the thing, they are losing their hope in, coming back to power, because when we see the last term and this NR Congress, BJP, AIDMK, who has a strong hold in Puducherry, as of now also, it is expected that again CM N. Ragaswamy might come back to power. That's what it says. When we talk about the constituencies where NR Congress and Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, they have a strong hold in rural Puducherry belt, parts of Karaikal, whereas they have like welfare dependent constituencies, and when you talk about the Congress, they are having a strong belt in the Karaikal constituency. So when we talk
DMK, I understand that DMK and Congress have had issues. Look at Tamil Nadu, Manikam Tagore is not campaigning. There is a faction within the Congress, Puducherry, Tamil Nadu combined, which feels that the DMK has not been straight with them. But there's another faction, and Karthi Chidambaram in his interview very categorically said that we need to understand there are places we are number 3, number 4, number 5. When we pair with DMK, we become a winning combination. On our own, we have no winning combination. But there are ambitious people like Manikam, they have a different take on it. But coming back to a bipole, Gautam, why is that bipole important, And for whom it is important in the Congress party? I think that's the real question. Who will it affect? DK Shiv Kumar or the CM?
It's a prestige battle for Congress, basically. It's
for whom? CM or DK? Who's running the show?
It's more for the chief minister, obviously, because it
Not
gives
DK.
him a pedestal for Chief Minister Sidramaya, because it gives him pedestal. Already I have 140 MLAs with me. If I'm going to add a couple more here, so this is on the back of me itself. And keep in mind, with regard to the campaigning as well, it's been Sidramaya who's been more visible in the campaigns in both Davangere and Bagalkot constituencies that has been going on there. And he's made his presence known, whereas DK Shivakumar, he was present more in Assam and he was campaigning there. So it becomes mainly about the Muslim votes there. And given the fact that he identifies himself as the Ahinda leader, the undisputed leader of the minorities, the Dalits, the backward classes. So this 2 seats, the majority of the electorate comes from this particular background, and it will be a major victory for them. And it will basically help him to say that I'm here to stay, and I've basically helped the Congress add a couple more seats here, Karthik.
Okay, Sandeep, you cover the Congress. I want to understand one thing. After 2014, Mr. Gandhi tried to reinvent himself, became very, very, if I may use the word, media friendly. The communication was faster when Randeep was there. Came 2019, it became more of YouTube, Facebook, Twitter interviews. After 2024, in all these elections, there is nothing from him, you know. There are rare interviews of Mr. Kharge. Mr. Gandhi is not interacting, no off-record briefings are taking place, if you recall. There are no impromptu interviews that are happening. Barring Priyanka here and there. Why is this happening? Look at Nitin Nabeen spoke. You know, there was an interview. Rahul Gandhi came out with a Twitter bite. So there is a difference. He's an LOP. He's just not any other leader of the party. Why is that happening?
Yeah, so I think you were right. The last time I've interviewed Mr. Gandhi twice. Once in 2018 in the run-up to the Karnataka elections, one in 2019 in the run-up to the Lok Sabha polls. I think somewhere down the line, he seems to have taken a leaf out of the BJP's playbook, which is that you use social media, give sound bites, don't take too many questions, say what you want to, and leave. In fact, he doesn't give interviews, Karthikeya, you are right, but you know, in parliament sessions, it is fairly common to see Rahul Gandhi give 3 bites in a day. So, I mean, you know, you've also covered him in the past. I've covered him. I've never seen him. So he walks into parliament, he gives a soundbite to all the waiting TV cameras. He walks out of parliament, he gives a soundbite. If he comes in again, and he will precisely, no matter what you ask, sometimes he responds, but no matter what you ask, he has it framed in his mind that this is what I'm going to say. He says it, and and if you ask, even if you ask other Congress leaders, why is he not giving interviews? So their standard reply would be that, has the Prime Minister given interview? Do you get to, do you get to ask him questions at a press conference? Does he take questions? So that's their standard reply. I think where the Congress where their idea is misplaced is that the Prime Minister can do that because he is in power.
Yeah.
The opposition leader cannot afford to do that. You need to challenge, and for that you also need to take questions, give your alternative vision. So you are right. I mean, since Bharat Jodo Yatra, Karthikeya, I did not see even one interview that he gave. He gave a lot of interviews to Sandesh and other very popular YouTube influencers, but there was no regular sit-down interview with either a TV channel or a newspaper. So whatever happens, I mean, sound bites he gives, to be fair to the LOP, he gives, as I said, sometimes even 3 times a day. sound bites in Parliament, but he doesn't give a structured interview where you can ask him a range of questions. And even his press conferences have become few and far between. I think the last ones were on vote chori campaign.
Yes, last one was on the vote chori.
He does take questions. To be fair to him, when he does press conferences, you can ask him just about any questions.
But from a national perspective, can we say that it's going to be some sort of a verdict on the national mood, or well, if BJP wins a lot of states, then people will say it will become a verdict. But then if the Congress wins Kerala, then I don't think it becomes a verdict.
Congress wins Kerala,
Trinamool wins Tamil Nadu,
West
then
Bengal,
it will not become a verdict.
And BJP wins Assam. I mean, it's all there. But I think, the only two states which are going to cause, I would say, earthquakes in Delhi. One is BJP losing Assam. That is going to be a big blow to BJP.
Oh, that
it will have a very big pertinent political narrative, reshaping of political narrative in center. And the second would be BJP winning West Bengal.
Oh, yes.
That will be a big political milestone.
Congress winning Assam would be a big surprise.
Exactly.
I mean to say that would be like return of the Congress party in Northeast. It will have a stronger effect in, for example, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Manipur. It will have a strong effect.
It will have a huge impact, and I think, if even if AIDMK goes on to win,
let's not forget Manipur. Both the Lok Sabha seats were won by Congress.
It was. But Manipur didn't create the kind of quake which an Assam will do, because Hemanta Biswa Sarma is, you have to accept, he's the larger than life chief minister.
Yes.
His histrionics are there, he is in sync with what, the way Yogi Adityanath, there are 10 other chief ministers of BJP ruled states, but then there's only one Yogi Adityanath.
Yes.
And then there is only one Hemanta Biswa Sarma. So you have to understand in that context. So the state might not be huge, but the implication of the individual who's heading the state is huge. If AIDMK wins Tamil Nadu, defeating DMK and Congress, it'll be, it won't create that kind of fissures as far as center is concerned.
Okay. Sandeep, 30 seconds. Sandeep, 30 seconds to you.
No, I agree. I entirely endorse Brajesh's point. I think the two earthquakes, if at all they happen, if Congress wins Assam and BJP wins Bengal, I think these are the only two earthquake scenarios, and that will have tremendous political implication at the center. It will rechange. It will sort of lead to realignment and changing political equations at the center. Less than that, BJP winning Assam, Trinamool winning Bengal, Congress winning Kerala, I would say they will be all on expected lines.
Okay. Thank you all of you. And I hope to see you soon in coming weeks because our coverage on elections will be rolling, and it will have its space between what is happening in Ukraine and West Asia. And I hope to do it genuinely, professionally and strongly. So this is all I had in this coverage, but don't go away, because on the other side, my colleague Sabya will join you with all the updates from West Asia.
Down Cool Street.
When you're hot, we'll cool you down on Cool Street. On Cool Street. On Cool Street.
Ooh, I'm on cool. Chill your dill. I'm on cool. Chill your dill.
I'm on cool. Chill your dill.
What you saw me on the field and off the field is like chalk and cheese.
Is leadership acquired or leaders are born?
No guts, no glory, no pain, no gain.
My tendency is to go for magic, not for perfection.
I never give up. I like to win. If you believe you can, you can.
Just me being here, it's a statement.
You define a concept called against all odds. You seem to be a Destiny's Child. When chips are down, the whole team could have looked up to you, said, Dada is still there.
Every time, whether I scored 100 or a Sachin scored 100 or a Rahul scored 100 or a Sehwag scored 100, the scoreboard said India won.
There is a quality about me which is why perhaps people feel I'm a perfectionist, because I don't get tired easily.
Let the kids know and the families know that one of the best ways to get a good education, go to a good school and a good college anywhere in the world is if you play a sport well.
How would it be possible for a person, ordinary person, for me to know?
ये acting कर रहा है या ये सच कर रहा है?
ये जो बात
I am not a very good actor in real life. Real life मेरे चेहरे पे दिख जाता है झूठ बोल रही है.
In Germany, the biggest newspaper was written on the first page. This is a finishing from Lothar Matthäus' career, and this was motivating me.
I was literally on my phone at home, and they're like, "Oh, we have the results. We suggest that you remove your breasts." And I'm like, "Wait, what?"
When I started stumbling and I started making the mistakes, that I realized that now that person who I have not forgiven 2 years back, now I know what he feels like.
Very important understanding of life, that you will only get opportunities if you're good. And if you're not good, don't expect opportunities.
The best example I could ever give is Abraham Lincoln, losing every election he ever had till he won the presidency.
You know, I actually have the feeling that my life hasn't started yet.
We all have two lives. The second one begins the day we realize that we only have one life.
Wow.
In Assam, the debate over infiltration is back.
এইটোৱে হৈছে বিজেপিৰ সংকল্প, এয়াই হৈছে বিজেপিৰ প্ৰতিজ্ঞা.
Will NRC settle the question of identity?
दोनों चाहते हैं कि डराकर धमकाकर इस देश की जनता पर राज करें.
Or will the fight over borders will shape this election?
From the ground, the questions that matter. The voices that shape the vote. India votes. Only on News 9. This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9. English news as it should be.
Very good morning to you viewers. You're watching News 9. I'm Sabyasachi Roy Chaudhary. Lots lined up in this bulletin, but first the headlines. US President Donald Trump threatens Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz immediately, says shooting will start again if Iran does not comply with agreement. India flagged LPG vessel Green Asha reaches Mumbai after crossing the Strait of Hormuz. Vessel carries 15,000 tons of LPG. Voting underway in Assam, Kerala and Puducherry. Voters cast vote in single-phase assembly elections. Political bigwigs step up on polling day. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, Congress leader K.C. Venugopal and BJP leader Rajiv Chandrasekhar cast their votes. Puducherry Chief Minister Rangaswamy rides bike to polling booth to cast his vote as the Union Territory votes to elect new assembly across 30 constituencies. Prime Minister Narendra Modi urges consensus on women reservation bill, says reservation for women in legislative bodies is the need of the hour to make Indian democracy even more vibrant and participative. BJP President Nitin Nabin refutes rumours of rift with Annamalai, says he is not upset over the party's decision to not field him in the assembly polls and is taking part in the poll campaign. Nitin Nabin accuses West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee of altering the demography of the state says TMC government is only worried about saving infiltrators in the state of West Bengal. Viewers, US President Donald Trump said that all US ships, aircraft and military personnel would stay in place in and around Iran until it fully complied with the deal. Now, in a post on Truth Social on Wednesday, Donald Trump wrote that all US ships, aircraft and the military personnel with additional ammunition, weaponry and anything else that is appropriate and necessary for the lethal prosecution and destruction of an already substantially degraded enemy will remain in place and around Iran until such time as the real agreement reached is fully complied with. Now, Iran and the US have agreed to an additional 2-week ceasefire during which shipping traffic will be allowed through the Strait of Hormuz. Now, viewers, this